Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RapChat podcast. Before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating, and also please leave us that review. Now, what is that all I say? Is that the end of the?
We're your hosts.
Oh yeah, so we're your hosts, Luke Dick,
Elias Eldridge,
and Sam Kenny,
and we are so excited to be back. We are filming content earlier this year than we were last year. And
a year ago today, we didn't know each other.
No, shut up.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I actually have
maybe
some.
It's been a year. I don't know.
I got some Snapchat memories of Sam on my phone from one of the first times we hung out, like maybe last week.
I do have pictures of the first time.
I don't know why I didn't send it to you. That's my bad.
Yeah, man, we're back.
Yeah. So like it's so weird because I'm sitting in this seat and I'm like thinking about just like so man. Let's before we get into anything today, let's just give a general overview of what we're doing here today, so we can get into some banter after everybody knows the sort of schedule today. So, Sam, do you want to talk about what we're going to be doing today?
Yeah. So today is going to be a pretty broad overview of the NBA offseason and the upcoming NBA season. If you're looking for Raptors content, that's going to be coming out, I think, probably later this week. Sometime later this week or early next week. And this one, we're going to go over offseason moves. We're going to look ahead to our award picks. It's going to give us a chance to talk about teams, different teams in the league, as well as overrated, underrated teams, players we're excited for, all that fun stuff.
All the juice.
Yeah.
And then we'll really dive deep into the Raptors later this week.
Exactly.
And it was October 15th.
Oh, wow.
October 15th, yeah.
And it's
so it hasn't even been the 1 year.
September 26th.
Damn,
recording.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. But basically today, we're just going to be talking about more general NBA topics. Because I think one thing, and like this is what I was going to say before, but I think I made it a mission of mine to just consume more general NBA content over this past year. Just because, man, like doing the podcast the last year and like, doing... watching more games, like watching more Raptors games, I think it just, and playing more basketball too, just like, I think really solidified my love for the game, my addiction to this game, dude. And like, it's just, I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't watch more general NBA games, because then I can look back and think like, wow, I watched all that basketball when people are just coming up in their primes. It's the,
right.
We're entering sort of a new era of the NBA right now, and it's a very exciting time.
Who was your favorite team to watch last year other than the Raptors?
Probably I liked watching the Celtics, to be honest. I was a Celtics guy. You guys didn't really like the Celtics, but I liked. I liked the Celtics.
I like the Celtics.
You hate
I know.
Celtics.
I don't.
You
like
hate
them.
the Celtics like organization. Boston.
I hate
as
Boston.
organization.
I hate Boston.
But and you
Boston's
don't like
the
the
city.
colors, but I like the colors.
I don't like the colors.
I like the colors.
I don't like the leprechaun either.
Here's a hater. He doesn't care. He
don't like the leprechaun either.
Bro, I feel like I'm trying to think of the colors of
Their colors suck. Their mascot
Their
sucks.
court sucks.
Bill Russell sucks.
Their city sucks.
I'm trying to think like
Joking, shut up, Bill Russell. R.I.P.
what are the grossest colors?
Green, bro.
No. In the NBA, like which team has
That they are my
wacky
least
No, they
favorite jerseys.
don't.
Celtics are my least favorite jerseys.
No, what?
No.
I don't
Celtics
like them.
are classic,
Bad
bro.
I
Like,
don't like
Sam,
them,
that's a
man.
bad team.
I'm
I don't
trying to
like
think.
them.
Like I feel like low key for some reason, maybe it's just because they suck, but I just don't like the purple and black. The Sacramento.
Oh, I
colors.
like those.
No, I like
man.
those a lot,
I don't
too.
know. Maybe it's just because they suck, and
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen someone. I don't think I've ever seen somebody look.
Oh,
good
you know what colors
green
actually?
Celtics
No.
jersey.
The colors that are the worst, the Pacers, bro.
Oh, those
The
are
No, I
bad.
like
navy
those
blue,
too.
navy blue and yellow, bro. I
The
don't
white
know.
jerseys are nice. The navy blue ones are a little bit. Yeah.
I'm like
A little bit early 2010s.
I'm not a big fan of the Wizards.
The Wizards
It's
are
too
Yeah,
basic.
Wizards
too
colors aren't.
American.
Yeah.
Too
It's like
patriotic.
American.
Yeah.
You're
Patriotic.
American. Like,
It's
get
like
outta
we
here.
get it. We get it.
You're
You're
in Washington.
American.
You're the capital, yeah.
I guess so. And the weird thing, they're called the Wizards, but it's like you're in the capital. Why aren't you guys called something like? I don't know, more
Capitals.
like the
Well, that's
Patriots.
already,
I don't know.
already hockey.
The Capitals,
No,
yeah. I don't know,
that's
something
hockey.
like
That's
hockey,
the Washington
yeah.
Nationals for baseball. They kind of ran out of ideas.
I guess. I'm sure they could think of something like the
Senators.
flag.
They were called
Colonials.
they were called the Senators.
They were?
Yeah, the Washington Senators.
Yeah,
they're
see, like,
they're the
that's-
Bullets.
Okay, who are the Senators?
that sounds like
Baseball
a hockey
team, maybe?
That's the Ottawa
Senators.
No, there was a Washington Senators. Maybe it's a baseball team.
Hmm.
They were the Bullets before.
The
Wizards,
Bullets.
so.
That makes sense.
But anyways,
We digress.
Yeah, we digress. So, anyways, yeah, like this season, I think I really, really hope that we can. I think, man, like I honestly think that our perspectives are gonna be are going to be that much more credible and that much more knowledgeable when we all watch more NBA in general. You know what I mean? Like we all have more of a knowledge. I mean, you guys already do have crazy knowledge of the NBA,
Mine's
but
mad credible already.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. But at least for somebody like me, you know, I only really started watching, like intensely watching basketball within the last couple years here, and especially I've watched more basketball last year than I ever did in my life. But this year, I really want to up the ante. You know what I mean?
I think for the most part, every team is worth watching this year.
Every team, bro. Yeah, it's
like,
absolutely.
Besides, like maybe San Antonio. San
The Jazz might be a tough one.
I think that'd be exciting for the first like 10 games.
Yeah,
every
every season, right? You season starts, you turn on League Pass. First 10 games, like it could be any game.
Yeah.
You're tuning in.
I'm
January, Tuesday night in January when it's Jazz.
I'm not watching
when
Jazz
it's Jazz
Pistons.
Thunder. That could be a tough watch.
I don't think I'll watch. I wouldn't watch that at all.
No, but the thing is,
Thunder's
though,
gonna be mad boring.
Yeah,
because
man,
no Chet.
Shea's hurt,
Jalen
too.
Williams though, the good one, the
But
better one.
bro,
sorry.
like sometimes it happens though that like sometimes those games will give way to like funny clips or like
Yeah.
something you'll see on
Unintentionally
Instagram.
funny.
Yeah, it's like or like a stupidly amazing highlight dunk or something that just happens randomly against like two really crappy teams. But anyways, should we hop into
Let's do it, man.
yeah? So I just got like a couple things like to ask you guys like before we start. So I just want to like
we are doing off-season moves beforehand though, right?
yeah.
Okay,
so it's gonna be the
we're-
first thing that we're doing.
we're okay, cool.
But I just want to have some questions before we hop into like any of the actual stuff we talk about. I just want to know like how you guys are gonna be feeling about this like generally about this NBA season. Like what are you guys expecting? What are you guys feeling? Like do you guys what's the emotion around that? And then how do you guys feel about the current state of the NBA as an organization and as basketball as a sport and just kind of just broad general questions?
Sure. I guess mine kind of go hand in hand. I think basketball as a sport is probably in its best spot. It's been in years. I've got critiques with the league itself. I've got a lot of critiques with, but basketball as a sport, I think, is an amazing, is in an amazing place. Like the talent level is not even close to it. Like it's only getting more talented, more athletic, smarter. The amount of strategy we see now, especially with defenses nowadays, is crazy.
Kate Cunningham would have won MVP in the 60s.
Yeah, seriously, man, I would have won MVP in the 50s. So, I'm really excited this year. I think this has been the theme the last 2, maybe 3 years, where there's been no favorite really. Like you can poll like 10 people and they might give you 10 different favorites for the finals,
and they're all like legitimate.
Yeah,
answers.
and like I think the talent is really, there's so much talent nowadays that like there's some bad teams because they're rebuilding, but like, there's so many competent teams. I think like both conferences have like there's 10 play-in spots. There's probably 10 or 11 teams that are like they should be in there, right? So
even in the East, there's very few teams that don't have a chance to make the playoffs. Like Indiana, Detroit, and Orlando probably most likely aren't going to make it.
There's one we'll talk about later.
Yeah,
there's one out of that group we're gonna chat about.
But for the most part, like they're all going to be competing.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to be like very close. I think, especially the last few, like Washington, Charlotte, they'll be close up there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, and my one critique for basketball as a game is shortened season, so these guys can actually play.
Oh man!
So these guys can play in the playoffs.
This is a big topic.
These guys aren't soft. Like these guys are not solid. Like, they're getting hurt, and it's because you're playing too many games. It's not their fault.
Absolutely, I 100% agree.
The sad thing is though that if they do that, the ticket prices are gonna go.
Oh yeah, man.
I know.
Oh yeah.
They're already.
Yeah, they're already. So imagine if they take away games, they need to keep the revenue.
And we need another Canadian team.
Yeah,
League needs to expand in general.
They are. Seattle and Vegas.
Right, I know those are places are getting, but we need another one in Canada, bro. We need Vancouver.
I kind of like being the
back.
only one though. I like because if we do get, we're not we the North
Gatekeeper.
anymore. We're the Eastern North.
we're already not. Like Minnesota's really north. Like there's a lot of northern teams.
Sam just like maxed out the mic. It was clipping
we're the Northeast.
Yeah, we're the Northeast.
I mean, I can see that, but I don't know. I just feel like basketball is such a big sport in Canada, and I feel like the culture of basketball in Canada is only going to grow.
It's true.
Yeah,
I support like basketball in Vegas.
Let's get a team in Mexico City.
No, dude. I know it sounds like that, but the support for the Las Vegas Knights and hockey is like.
Well, yeah, because everybody there's betting on them.
But that's why though, because
I know,
this is going to give way.
That's not as cool.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like it's not.
I get it from the NBA's point of view, where like they're going to get mad money from
I
going
know,
to
but I
Vegas,
still think you're gonna
but-
get like just a crazy loyal fan base out of Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
And I think they're in,
Like
yeah.
it's one of those like
But
niche
it
markets.
doesn't feel as genuine though.
No, I know
Maybe
what you
it
mean.
doesn't,
I know
yeah.
what you mean.
It is like a cash cow sort
At
of
least,
thing.
at
But,
least they're not moving a team there.
but hey,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Knights,
That's true.
the Knights, like they're. I mean, I don't know a shit ton about NHL hockey or anything, but they are a good performing team. Like they are a good team.
They were
made the finals.
historically
Yeah.
They made
good.
the finals their first year.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think that goes to show Las Vegas as a potential destination and why teams would want to go there. You know,
Sorry.
no, nothing. Just I'll get your thoughts here. But like,
Yeah.
how are you feeling? Like, what are you guys watching habits? Like, how do you guys coming into this season?
The watching habits.
Watching habits, yeah. Like, what are you guys looking at? How many games are you looking to watch? How
I'm
many
gonna,
teams?
I'm
you know?
gonna be watching a lot of basketball. So to kind of join what Sam said, there's so many teams that are actual in competition. There's so many teams that are contenders. Like you can literally give me a list of 10 teams that can make the finals, and I would be I could say they're all legitimate answers. Raptors are my priority, obviously. But if there's no Raptors game, I'm watching another game, and I'll probably watch 2 games a night. To be honest, like, for the first bit
the
at
West
least.
Coast game, right?
Yeah, like I'm really
And
all in this season.
so you guys know these guys only live up the street from me now. We were all separated last year, but since we all live so close, we'll be watching a lot of games together, and you'll be expecting some very cool content.
Yeah, man, I'll be watching my own.
I'll be in my
Just me in his
room.
room
Yeah.
watching. I'll be,
I got better things to do.
yeah, no, and like to be honest, man, like I think Lakers are gonna have a comeback year somewhat. It's not it's a bit of a hot take. I just think there's so many teams that like have something to prove, you know.
I
And there's so many guys coming back, like Zion's coming back this year,
Kawhi.
man.
Kawhi's back.
Kawhi's back this year. Paul George's back full time. John Wall's back. Like the whole team's back basically. You got KD's back back with the Celtics or the Nets, and Kyrie's back. Ben Simmons is back with them.
Yeah.
I think this thing is so much going on, man.
There is
I'm
a
here
lot
for it.
going on.
And a whole year of Harden and Embiid together, like that's gonna be something.
I think one word when I was thinking about just this NBA season in general was unpredictable. I think like this season has been this like think about it, man. When we were watching basketball all throughout high school, like bruh,
Warriors,
it was
Cavs,
Warriors,
Warriors,
Cavs
Cavs,
every
Warriors,
year,
Cavs.
bro. Like
I loved it.
it was,
I know.
well, no, it was
I know.
amazing. It was awesome to watch
I
the
love the
dynasty.
Warriors.
I didn't like
And like the thing was, the Raptors didn't suck either. The Raptors, I mean,
Yeah.
LeBronto, but we still were like a good performing season. We're fun team to watch during the season. We were always competitive, and so were a lot of other teams. But
you
it
knew
was
who was
just
winning.
it was so predictable. But I think we're at like this place in the NBA right now where we're getting like think of all the big stars of the NBA over the past decade and where they are now. Dwayne Wade retired. Like LeBron James, 38 years old. His son is going to be going his first year of college. Melo is pretty trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like guys.
LaMelo or Carmelo?
Carmelo. Like guys who were staples of the NBA in the last decade are guys who are really on their way out now.
Yeah.
New guys taking over.
Even guys like
Exactly.
Harden and
Yeah,
Curry
man.
still had an awesome year last year. These guys are getting old, right?
Yeah,
There's
well,
a
Curry
change
had
of
his
the guard.
worst shooting year in his
Westbrook.
entire career last
Westbrook,
year. I mean, he
yeah.
still
Westbrook.
shot 38%, which
Yeah.
is pretty ridiculous. But even still, like Westbrook is a perfect example, man. Like guys who really defined the era of the NBA. Like even guys like Andre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan, like these guys who are
Chris Paul.
your classic big
Yeah.
man. Yeah, well, Chris Paul's still killing it, but he is 38,
He's getting there.
39
I think
years
he's
old,
gonna
bro.
skip Klein this year.
I think so too, and I think you're gonna see that with a lot of these players, like across the board, these like really big names who've been who's been in the league throughout the last decade. And the thing is that we are getting these guys who are young, hungry, and wanting to make a name for themselves in this league, and that's what drove the last decade to be so good was all these guys were entering their prime, and now we're getting guys who they're not in their prime yet. They're probably not going to be in their prime for the next anywhere from 2 to 6 years, some of these guys. And we're in this really cool state of the NBA where we're probably going to be able to see a lot of really interesting things that happen.
And one more thing about where the league is at right now. A lot of old heads will say that everyone plays the same way. They just show that they aren't actually watching games. The game is at there's so many unique skill sets nowadays.
Also,
like the best players.
The coaches are so much smarter now.
Coaches are smarter. There's unique ways to coach your team, strategy. Like think of like the best players in the league. You've got guys like Curry. Then you've also got a guy like Embiid or Jokic
Right.
or LeBron
Giannis.
Giannis. Like these are all just like very different types of players.
John Morant.
they're all
Morant.
still
You
gotta-
so
you gotta-
dominant.
And they're all so dominant, but they all do it different ways.
ways,
And
yeah.
there's different ways to construct your team.
Like Curry and Dame are out shooting at
Yeah.
half court. Dame or Jaws driving
Yep.
in. Giannis and Embiid are just bullies.
Yeah.
You know, it's different ways. LeBron's a playmaker and a scorer.
Yeah.
Like so
Best
many different
playmaker in the
things.
league's a 7-footer.
I feel like for the longest time the
Rudy
league
Gobert.
was like so dominated by our like players like Kobe and players like Shaq. You know, are you a good big man? Like, can you
Right.
dominate in the post?
Are you a shot
And
creator or a big man? Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what basketball's been for so long. And a point guard position, like if you look at somebody like look at the contrast between a point guard like Steve Nash and a point guard like Ja Morant. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they could not have playing styles completely differently. But I think a big part of that too was you couldn't play like Ja Morant when Steve Nash was playing point guard. There's just no way. Like there was no room
spacing.
for
Yeah.
explosiveness like that.
Like I would argue the league's the most versatile it's ever been.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Like
absolutely.
there's no positions or anything. So like this thing where
Exactly.
everybody plays the same. It's like no, there's not at all. There's no positions anymore.
No, there's no positions.
There's
And even team like
there's
the
usually a point guard and that's it.
yeah,
Even Denver's point guard's a center.
exactly. There's no right way to build your team, right?
No.
And there's no right way to play the game.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's super exciting. So why don't we hop into our first
Oh yeah.
topic for the show? I love how we're like 20 minutes in and we're just
Yeah.
heading into our first topic. So the first topic, and like, guys, this is
What's
probably gonna be I'm just talking to the listeners. Like, this is probably gonna be like a this is gonna be a long thing.
This is gonna be a longer episode,
this is gonna be a
yeah.
longer show. Like, be prepared. This is like less
road
structure.
trip off Thanksgiving weekend. You know, throw this on.
Yeah. Like, this is just general.
This isn't how every episode's gonna be.
No,
It's just,
no,
We just want to talk about basketball.
Exactly. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So first topic we have
Well,
up.
Okay, here. Sorry, yeah, keep going.
No, yeah, sorry. So the first topic we're going to be talking about today is we're going to just talk about all the big moves that happened in the offseason last year. Before we head into this, because I know it might take a little bit to get the stuff up.
Well, I have a different idea, but about how we're gonna do it. But anyway, keep.
Oh, sure. I just want to know, like, when the season ended this year, after the finals, did you guys expect big offseason moves, or did you guys expect little trades here and there, anything monumental? What were you guys kind of expecting in the offseason?
I didn't expect. Actually, I think a little more happened than I was expecting, like the DeJounte Murray trade and stuff. I really wasn't expecting much this offseason. There's not really superstar free agents.
There were no big free agent
I mean,
signings.
well, not free agent. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then like the trades that happened, I kind of had a hunch at like Utah or something, but someone would blow it up. But like, I think a little more expected than wasn't happen than I expected. But
Yeah.
no, that's
It
not
felt average to me
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of player movement, so
Yeah.
it felt pretty average.
Yeah.
really, yeah. I think we've been spoiled the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's-
no kidding.
Yeah.
When you have KD go to the
Yeah,
Warriors,
and
I guess that was
Yeah,
a thing though.
Kawhi.
KD requesting a trade, that was unexpected.
I mean,
But now that you
said
came out of
free
that,
agent, and I was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, KD
Yeah.
wasn't a free agent, but
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest news. I mean, everybody knows about that. That was the biggest news of the
Yeah.
offseason this year, and it ended up being so.
And
And I think him coming
Like-
back to Brooklyn was like just as big as news as him getting traded.
I think
That
so
was
too.
a-
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I
just
thought
the
he was
way,
gone.
like the controversy he
it's not as
created,
fun,
bro. Like,
it's not as fun.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I guess not as fun. But actually,
I like it, though.
let's give it wait. Let's wait to talk about the Nets.
Okay.
Um,
So here's what I think what we should do instead. I just had a list of all the moves, but I think why don't we just go team by team and talk about if they had a big move, we just talk about it. Kind of
Okay,
thing.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
So like let's start with
And
the
we're
Celtics.
not well. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Start with the Celtics. They got Malcolm Brogdon this year.
Right.
That's
what
the
they-
big thing.
Coming
They got-
over
they got
from the
Gallo.
Pacers, right?
Yeah. They got Gallinari, but he tore his ACL. I think.
That is so
which sucks.
tragic, man. That is absolutely tragic. Especially because he would have made a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for spacing and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics. What do you
That
guys think?
was my favorite move of the offseason. That was
Really?
going to be one of the
Really?
topics. That was my
Really?
choice. Yeah,
Wow.
I love the move.
interesting.
I'm a really big Malcolm Brogdon fan. I think
You won
my
Rookie of the Year, did you not?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That was a weird move, though.
I think one of the things they really need to address that came to show during the playoffs or specifically the finals was their lack of playmaking. And I think
Yeah,
Brogdon
that's
does
true.
just that. And he's not just a playmaker. He can defend. He
Shoot.
can shoot the three really well. He doesn't need the ball. I think he's such a perfect fit. Like you could play him with Smart, without Smart. With like, I think he just fits so seamlessly into that team and just gives them more shooting and more versatility and playmaking. Right, shoot, dribble, pass. He can do all three, and that's kind of what that team's predicated on.
Well, I just want to like piggyback off of what you're saying too. I think one of the things that you saw in the finals this year was Jason Tatum getting so flustered and passing the ball more, right? But the problem with that is that he wasn't making playmaking passes. He was just giving the ball up, which in a position like his, like he is the dominant player. He's the superstar on their team. Like he's going to attract that attention. But the problem is instead of instead of giving the ball up, you want him to be able to use the attention that's being drawn to him to create for other players. And that's one thing I really just didn't think you saw out of Jason Tatum in the finals. And like personally, I'm not as critical of Jason Tatum's performance in the finals. I think he's young, and I really think that like people just compare him to Kobe and all this stuff, and people have like way too high of expectations.
I agree.
I think that he was over criticized for his performance. Because if you go back and actually look at his stats, like they were fine. Like his stats were fine. Like
people are expecting big time performance.
Yeah,
out of him.
like
It's
30
his
points
first-
per game.
Yeah, it's like his first time in the finals. He's like 24
assists.
years old, 25 years old. Like
Exactly. They wanted him to
chill.
get a 30-point double like every night.
Yeah.
Like and that's that. And like with honestly even like close to a triple double. People
Yeah.
because people
And, like-
wanted like 7 to 9 rebounds.
To
out
be
of that
fair,
guy.
he was kind of doing that up till that point in the finals. But it's like you put him in the finals, like that's the game everybody's watching. There's a lot of pressure, you know.
Yeah.
Well, who else did they really have that attracted that attention as much as he did? Like,
Well, I think having because my criticism of them is their offense would get so stagnant, and I think having a ball
I agree.
mover like Brogdon like that, and
Yeah,
they gave up
exactly.
nothing.
and
So,
Marcus Smart isn't that. Like,
No.
he's just not that guy.
They used Horford as a playmaker quite a bit,
yeah,
and like
that dude's just getting older, man. And
he's all right,
That,
but
that
he-
can't be your main
no
strategy.
I really like the Brogdon.
Yeah.
pickup as
The more
well.
now that you brought that up, I actually really
Yeah.
do like Malcolm Brogdon. And like to be honest, it's like, man, what the hell was that guy doing on the Pacers, bro? Like, I liked him when he played.
He's always
for
hurt. Right?
Milwaukee,
That's the
man.
one
Yeah,
thing with
yeah.
him, right? It's just
But that's the thing
injuries
is,
slowing down.
actually, the Celtics is not a bad team for him to go to because I really think that like, okay, first of all, I think he should take Derek White under his wing and like teach him some like more playmaking skills. Because if there's a guy that like who I was underwhelmed by, who was performed really well in San Antonio, and like I was just underwhelmed by when he was on the Celtics was Derek White, and I really thought that they were like looking for Derek White to be like that off the bench spark guy, and I think he's just more of
He
like
did show flashes of it though.
he did, but I think that if you add Malcolm Brogdon on that team, like I think that the person he's gonna have a big impact on is gonna be a guy like Derek White,
And also Derek White won't have to do as much.
and then that's exactly what I'm saying, and so
They allowed him too much to be a shooter, which he's not at all.
Right.
Derek White. So
Yeah.
Brogdon can be that shooter, and Derek White can focus on his thing.
yeah, so that is a really
Yeah.
great move.
All right,
The
let's
Celtics,
Keep, let's keep moving. We don't want to spend too long on every
Yeah,
single one.
yeah.
Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets a little bit. They didn't make any. They signed TJ Warren and stuff, but
right.
Royce O'Neal.
KD, Kyrie, Royce O'Neal. I actually like that signing a lot. But KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. What do you guys think?
All right. So this is I feel like the Nets is a great team to be able to talk about right now because this is might take up a little bit of a chunk of this podcast. And I really want to make this clear. And I said this at the beginning of the offseason when when Kevin Durant requested a trade. He was not going to the Raptors. We're not going to be talking about the Raptors. But to be honest, I really honestly, if I thought Kevin Durant was really gonna go anywhere, what I was struggling with was why doesn't he stay on the Nets? I thought to myself, I'm like, you have Ben Simmons, like a guy who fits so perfectly with Kevin Durant's play style, and a guy like Kyrie who has the ability to come back and this year with maybe there's like the only place he really I don't think he can still play in New York this year, can he not? Like I don't
can
think
play everywhere now.
He can play everywhere now.
He can play
except for Canada.
No, he can't.
They changed it today.
Yeah,
Really?
He can.
Yeah.
Wow. So now that there's no restrictions on Kyrie, I was really frustrated why Kevin Durant was so frustrated with his situation. I didn't really get it because I'm like, listen, man, I feel like he wasn't really looking at the bigger picture. I was like, you haven't even played with Ben yet.
He wasn't because he said today in a media day for Brooklyn, they asked him why he wanted out, and he said, I didn't trust where this team was going. But as we keep based it all off last season, it's
Right.
like you're on a 4-year
Right.
contract.
Yeah, man.
And he said the thing about him getting older, and like I respect his thoughts on it.
That's what I was just about to say.
I respect it all because he is getting older, and it's fair, it's understandable. He wants to think shorter term than longer term because he doesn't have that much long term ability.
Totally.
Um,
You got to be self-preservation at a certain point. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think Brooklyn's one of the best places to be if you want to win a championship right now as far as talent goes.
Well, yeah, let's look at that team now, right? So they brought back most of their team from last year, and I
Right.
think they improved.
Like this is their start. This is what I think their starting lineup should be. It's probably people think Nick Claxton should start at center. I think Ben Simmons should start at center with Royce O'Neal.
Wow.
With
I think that's
Royce O'Neal, KD, Seth Curry, who's one of the best shooters in the league, and then Kyrie Irving, really one of the best offensive players of all time.
Yeah.
With KD, the other one, one of the other best.
And let's be
offensive
real too.
players.
Like that is an older roster. Like that's an older. Like if there's any
experienced roster. I would
exactly.
say.
I'd say if there's any team in the NBA the NBA right now who's kind of got an older roster still full of like really good guys, I would say it would have to be the Nets and honestly like the Warriors,
And
like
the Clippers.
yeah, the Clippers too. They still do have a lot of young guys on the come up though. Like
A few.
I mean, yeah, it's true. But the Nets really like. they do have that like established NBA presence that a lot of teams like, a lot of good teams don't have. And I think that is really going to be it's going to be a big factor into how well the Nets perform this season is their ability to play together.
Yeah.
To be honest, what do you guys think of? I guess we kind of talked about this, but Harden leaving the Nets, how does that change the dynamic of Ben Simmons coming in?
I think we talked about this last year, but I really like the fit of Ben in Brooklyn. I think it's kind of perfect for him and Brooklyn. I still am a little iffy on their point of attack defense, but Ben's going to shore up a lot of defense. Royce O'Neal's going to shore up some defense, and also Ben can be like Kyrie and Kevin Durant are both going to miss significant time this year. Like if the track record says so, because of injury, both of them, Kevin Durant especially, gets injured a lot now, and same with Kyrie. Has had injury issues his whole career. So I think having a guy like Ben who can take a little, like if one of those guys is out, Ben can step up and be a ball handler and be a creator of some sort. But also with those guys, he can be the third fiddle, off-ball playmaker, screener, defender. I think it's like a perfect fit. But the only thing I'm worried about them is their age. Yeah, it gives them experience, but I think they can be really injury prone.
Yeah, I think injury is definitely a concern, but if we disregard injuries, I think this is one of the most talented teams in the league.
Oh yeah.
And I love the Ben Simmons fit. I just really don't see why they can't be one of the best teams in the league. They have so much going for them. The defense is a little questionable, but Ben Simmons is one of the best defense players in the NBA. Doesn't matter that he missed a year, people. He still is. Last time he played, he was second in voting for Defensive Player of the Year. They have so much shooting around these guys. Like Royce O'Neal is a 3-point shooter. Kevin Durant, Kyrie, obviously. Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Thomas, T.J. Warren, Patty Mills. All these guys shoot threes very well. I just think, I think they're built for success. I think Ben Simmons is going to have an amazing year this year, relatively speaking. And I'm very excited for Brooklyn, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the only thing I have to say about Brooklyn is they're a little bit of lack of depth, when it comes to their bench.
I think they have depth, dude.
But like
they have depth.
But the thing is, it depends on who you're playing and how much you're playing them. Like that's the thing is if these guys really do get injured, you are going to have to depend.
Oh yeah, they're gonna suck if they get injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's the case with most teams. Your superstar gets injured.
I mean, but they have a bunch of superstars that I think that they really are depending on this season to really have like good performances. I think they're depending on Ben Simmons.
But I think that was the position that they're in where they kind of got to go all in for it, or else you lose KD. And then,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, like I'd like to. I don't know. I'd like to maybe see like one more guy who's got like really good defensive abilities, because they do have a lot of like the 3-point shooting, which is good. But I'd like to see maybe, I don't know, like one more like maybe 6'8", 6'9" guy on their team that's just like a solid defender and like maybe can get to the basket. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Ben Simmons for OG?
No, please no.
Hell no.
No.
Really? Hell no.
No, I don't want that.
No. New York Knicks signed Jalen Brunson.
Interesting.
In
a vacuum, cool. Also, I don't think that does anything.
They're
don't know.
9th seed.
Jalen Brunson's a really good.
best.
Jalen Brunson's a good player. That team is just. There's a lot of holes there.
No, man, they're going a bit down. But they're going far this year. Trust me.
No. There's
who said the Knicks were? Was that
Me.
you?
Yeah.
That was last year.
Like the signing is fine. I think the money for it is fine. Here's
my positivity with the Knicks. I don't think there's a world where Julius Randle's worse than last year.
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
I think he's going to learn from how bad he was last year, and he's not going to be as good as his All-Star. He's not going to be an All-Star by any means, or an All-NBA player, which is crazy that he was. But I think he's going to be more like smarter, efficient. He has Jalen Brunson that takes some load off him offensively, but they're a 9th seed at best in my opinion.
I just feel like I didn't see him last season being aggressive. Like
he was taking pull-up corner shots.
Why? Like all the time. Unnecessary threes. Like you're huge, man. Like go to the basket. Like
I could not watch Knicks last year because of Julius Randle.
And he had no finesse either. Just nothing. Like no. Like don't you just love it when like a big guy like that will drive to the basket, give like a shot fake and like a step through or a spin around rebound or something. He does not do that. And if he does, it's like so slow. It's so slow. I'm like, man, like
And he can't like dunk like that either. Like it's
No.
all
He's
not very
layers and
athletic.
stuff. No.
yeah, it's just like if you're gonna be a big guy like that, like either you have to shoot the three like insanely well,
Yeah.
or you have to have like Luka abilities to like,
Right.
you know, to
Just be an all-time great.
Yes,
Fair though,
yeah.
he kind of did that 2
he
years
did
ago.
but that's what made him so good. though.
That
It was
when
a
you look
fluke.
at it
It
though,
was a
that
fluke. It was a
All-Star
fluke.
year was a lot of shooting luck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
no,
It was a
but
fluke.
that's,
Yeah.
that's
But-
why he
Yeah.
did so well,
Yeah.
is because he was
All,
literally
all
like
the tough
Luka.
shots, all the tough shots
now
went in.
And now I think he had the last year where he's like, okay, I'm not that good,
Right.
and now he can kind of even himself out.
I hope so.
And then
For his sake.
I have high hopes for RJ Barrett this year.
Oh,
We'll talk
yeah.
about it later.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I,
Yeah.
No,
but
okay.
I like RJ Barrett.
All right,
a
we'll
lot
put
this
that on
year.
ice. Yeah.
But in there was a little bit of off-season controversy with the Jalen Brunson signing because about his dad or something being like
it's a
working
lot
or
of,
knowing a person who works
There's a
in the
lot
team.
of
or-
tampering.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some.
I don't think they officially got fined yet, but they will get fined.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on there.
But I think I agree with you, Sam. Like I really just don't see that making like a massive impact. Like it's like, okay, you guys got like a proven point guard. Like okay, I mean, like I'd like
a
for
proven point guard is cool, but like
They need more.
that's
They
not
need
going to
more.
solve all
Yeah.
your problem. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you have like. I mean, if Obi Toppin was like way better,
Obi
maybe,
Toppin
like,
can play defense, man. I'm so mad he can't play. I love Obi Toppin, but his defense is some of the worst in the league. Man. It's so
I
bad.
still think like actually like
That guy's got no lateral movement.
no. If
My
you see him
guy's-
down low, his
yeah,
That's true.
his footing,
My guy-
it's so bad.
He's got cement shoes.
It makes me cringe.
But the thing is, though, is I feel like when I look at somebody like Obi Toppin, like I feel like I see potential. Like he's
Big
still
time.
young. Like
Big
he's,
time.
You
But
know, like,
just his defense, that's the biggest part that he needs to fix.
but that's the thing is that those are things that can change, and I feel like, yeah, like man, if you could just dial the offense up, just like, you know, a couple notches, like just like a little bit, be more consistent, like have a little bit more confidence in like you know getting to the basket. 'Cause he's long, man. He's a big guy. Like
Oh, yeah.
you know if he could be like a solid like 3-and-D player, like somebody like Andrew Wiggins, like
No.
not obviously not as good as Andrew Wiggins, but like that archetype of player.
All-star
You know what I'm
starter.
saying?
Right,
Like yeah, no, like that. I mean, we that was a controversy about Andrew Wiggins making the All-Star team for us last year, but I think the more I look back on it, like okay, fine, whatever.
That's what I said to Sam a couple days ago, actually.
Yeah, but
Overreacted.
yeah, but that sort of archetypal 3-and-D player because he has the size, right? And like, how old is Obi? He's young. Is he?
24.
Yeah, 24.
He played in college.
I don't
I
want my team relying on Obi Toppin.
No. But
I want him
that's
on
the
the
thing
Raptors.
is, if you
We'll
say
improve his defense.
what's that?
He comes to the Raptors, he'll improve his defense.
I
Well,
can only stomach so many of those players.
Yeah, but
Give me someone that's polished, please.
yeah, fair enough.
I can't take another
Never.
project.
Otto Porter. Come on, he's
Masai,
fine.
please.
Yeah, he's on.
No more
Okay, let's
projects.
keep moving on.
Yeah,
We
okay.
have 30 teams to go through
Yeah,
here. Philly, you know, they signed PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
I
That
think they're
team's
gonna be
the
really,
same as
they're gonna be
last
really
year.
good
I
this
think,
year. I
yeah.
like Melton a lot on that team. I think
Melton,
I
yeah.
like their 10-man rotation, but their
Sure.
depth is
They're gonna be
kinda
good.
weak.
I think they're an
Much
Eastern,
as Harold's
Eastern
good pickup.
Conference Finals team for
Yep.
sure.
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
finals contender. They
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Raptors are going to talk about a whole episode, so we're going to save that.
Sure.
The Bulls.
Re-signed Zach Levine.
Right.
Yeah.
Signed Andre Drummond.
Yeah. Bulls.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the Bulls either.
Get some defenders,
It's just,
man.
yeah,
Lonzo's
like-
hurt.
Lonzo, please get
still.
healthy. though. I love you.
Lonzo
I
can't
know,
get
like,
healthy.
From what I heard, I know this is tragic, but I heard that he's not. I don't think he's gonna play the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Who'd you hear that from?
Well, it just got
what I-
released.
yeah,
He's missing.
yeah.
It's 4 to 6 weeks, what they said.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
they said like
I know it's going to be longer
4
than
to
that,
6
but
when it was out.
they're
like
reevaluating
December.
in 4 to 6.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think they'd say it again if they weren't confident. Anyway,
Dude's not playing till January.
Whatever happens, happens. Okay,
Yeah.
Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a
Oh,
big conversation.
yeah.
This is a big conversation.
Cleveland Cavaliers traded for Donovan Mitchell. They
Like
traded
it.
Lowry Markkanen. They signed and traded Colin Sexton, and they traded their 14th overall pick, Ochai Agbaji, to Utah for Donovan Mitchell. They re-signed Ricky Rubio as well,
Yeah, that's a nice one.
which I like. And yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
This was my favorite offseason move.
Ooh.
So like this, I was so excited. I think Donovan Mitchell's like such a perfect fit for the way that the Cavs play, and I think it was weird having Lowry Markkanen on the Cavs last year because, I mean, like he's a solid player, but what was he providing that other guys on that team don't already provide? And especially when you have
he was mid.
Exactly. Like, especially like when you could have someone like Donovan Mitchell, right? And like I think the most exciting thing for me too was the fact that now Donovan Mitchell has so much to work with, man.
Oh,
like,
I did forget to mention they traded like 4 picks also.
yeah, they did trade. Like, there was a lot. And there was controversy over whether they gave up too
Yeah,
much
when
on
we
this
talk
trade.
about Utah, I'd like to talk about that.
But I have large opinions on the overpaying situation, which I will
Okay,
mention when we get a
okay.
chance.
Yeah, so honestly, I feel like that was my favorite move. Really, I really like Donovan Mitchell. I think he's just such a shifty guy, and he is a playmaker, but he is also a scorer too. And I think that there's a lot of perfect guys on that team who really are going to be able to fit with that ability. And I like the idea of keeping it to just Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Like that's all you need. Like those are like two like Evan Mobley. Like I mean, I don't want to say too much about him, but I just think that like him and Jared are just so dominant, and they're going to be dominant.
Yeah, for years.
For years to come.
I like the move too. I'm not a massive Donovan Mitchell fan. I think he's got some pretty big deficiencies. And I like the move. I think they're a better team for it. I just worry a little bit about that. That's a really small and bad defensive backcourt.
I think they counteracted pretty well though. They're gonna start a Coro Mobley now with them.
And they still have.
It's
Karras,
hard,
don't they? Karras?
Vert, he's like okay.
I know,
it's just when small defensive backcourts like that, I worry about. That's two guys you can hunt very easily, with wings. I think they're gonna be a fine defensive team, like middle of the pack, because they like their other three guys are so good. It's just about I think they're a better team.
Colin Sexton was like a really big defensive.
I think they're a better team. It's just Donovan Mitchell is like so bad defensively, like so bad.
Teams like the Clippers are going to struggle against hardcore because you got so many big offensive players there. But like really, like you put a core on on the best guard, and then you just kind of roll.
But does that matter though if you just screen and get?
I guess.
Right. I think they're going to be a better
team.
But then
you got
for
Mobley
sure.
and Allen down there.
Yeah, that's
and they're
the thing,
offensively
and
offensively. Garland's gonna get so much more help when he's off the court. Like he was the only creator they had last year, like actual like consistent creator. So that's like their offense is gonna be really awesome and really dynamic, and that's just more spacing. But yeah, I work like come playoff time, the lack of point of attack defense.
That's true because he is an easy target.
Both of them.
And the way that and this is why we're just gonna have to see it play out too, because like. When you have two big guys on the floor like that, like, having one guy play drop coverage, still it protects the paint. And that's what, but then again, it's like, well, what happens when there's not two big guys on the floor at the same time? What happens when you have to space those guys out? Which does, present its own problems. But I just want to see Donovan Mitchell in a Cavs jersey, bro.
It'll be fun.
I think like,
it'll be fun. It'll be
cool,
really fun,
man.
Yeah.
Like
my thing is, there's better defenders on this team than there was on those Utah teams. And those Utah teams were some of the best. Jared Allen's not as good as defender as Rudy Gobert, but
Mobley's amazing.
And like Jared Allen's still really good defender.
Yeah. So for sure.
Here's my take on the entire thing. I love the trade for the Cavs. I don't love same as you, Sam. I don't love the super on the backcourt, but the fact they did the trade is what I love.
Yeah.
And they did overpay. I'm actually writing.
I don't even think they did though.
No, but everybody says they did, and
Right.
there's reasons behind it, which I think are super annoying. Everybody's always like, "Oh, they overpaid." It's like, would you rather be the same Cavs, and have all those 20th overall picks that one might become a starter, or trade for a superstar
who's still young and has a lot of career left?
Everybody's
to play.
like, "Oh, they overpaid for Donovan Mitchell." You have to if you're the Cavs.
Yes.
Who are the Cavs going to sign? Nobody.
And basketball's more fun when you have good players.
And the same thing goes to the Timberwolves. They made the moves they had to make to compete. Now, if they don't make those moves, they're going to have the same roster, and they're going to keep signing guys who are solid bench pieces, and that's it. You're expecting you're expecting Darius Garland and Mobley to be the only guys this team needs. They need someone else. Why not get Donovan Mitchell? Why not make the trades? Those draft picks are going to be 20th overall picks. Who cares? Who cares about them? They're somewhat valuable. Donovan Mitchell's way more valuable. I'm actually writing a paper on all this also. So, it'll be
memorizing his points.
But I'm very strongly on the side of quote unquote overpaying because teams have to do it.
No, yeah. And I think like when it comes to the overpaying thing too, look who you traded to. Like the Jazz suck. Like, and they're not going to be competitive. So it's not one of those trades where you're thinking like, we gave up all of the like it'd be like if KD did get traded
those pieces to like the Nets,
right?
Then the Nets are way deeper. That's a problem. But you change to the Jazz, you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
And again, those draft picks. When Woj tweets they traded 4 draft picks, you're like, oh my god, they traded 4 draft picks. They traded 4 20th overall picks. Okay, name 4 20th overall picks. Yeah. You can't. None of you.
Exactly.
Name 2.
Well, no, and it's
you don't remember
true.
them. They're cool players. That's it. They're nothing more. So rarely you'll get an all-star. It's somewhat rare you'll get a starter. They're usually going to be a bench piece. The Cavs don't need that. Or out of the league. The Cavs don't need that, okay?
Well, yeah, and just to sort of reiterate this point too, it's like, well, if KD were to have left, every single mock trade that was made was grossly overpaying for no good reason. Because, like, say if you wanted to, like, it was the trade in Miami. Oh my God, man, you would have had to gut your entire team. Like that's the problem. The Cavs didn't have to gut their team, and they still got a massive talent who fits with their timeline as well. And then when you're looking at the Jazz, they didn't really have to give the Jazz a whole lot. They really didn't.
Yeah.
The Jazz are not going to be a competitive team in the next, I don't know, probably within the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to be competitive.
And something else I want to throw with the draft pick thing is that it's different for different teams. When Brooklyn traded all their draft picks for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, that was a horrible trade. But at the very start, not even like after looking back at it from the start, because you're trading for old guys. Cavs are trading for Donovan Mitchell,
Right.
who was 24, 25 years old, and their core
He
is
just turned 25.
and their core is all young guys. So
Yeah.
that 2027, 2028 draft pick, if theoretically it's like even contract situation, they have all these guys tied up for a long time. But theoretically, if they suck, they're only going to suck for that 1 year. They traded one guy for 5 years for a chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
And
It's worth
also, like, Cleveland is not one of those. I mean, it's not at the top of free agents signing. So
it's almost-
you know,
it's at the
that's
bottom.
another
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
it's a big thing too with Gordon Hayward got signed 3-year 120 by the Charlotte last year. Everybody's like, what an overpay. What else are they going to do with the money?
Yeah, man. Like,
It's not. It's not your money. Chill. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. Like the salary cap stuff almost never comes home to like actually cause problems. Like
Right.
overpaying, underpaying. It almost never actually like manifests as an issue.
No,
So
the Westbrook thing's a little bit of an issue for
That
the
one's an
Lakers,
issue.
but that's
that could have been foreseen by anyone
yeah,
with a brain.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Yeah.
And just they shouldn't have traded for Westbrook in the first place.
but yeah, the Donovan Mitchell trade I think really fits well with the team, and like
I'm more happy the fact that they did it rather than like I think
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell's great. I'm really excited to watch them. I'm gonna watch a lot of the Cavs this year because they're so entertaining.
Yeah, me too.
On paper at least. But I'm just happy they did it and they didn't shy away from overpaying, quote unquote, because that's what they have to do and that's what they should have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like it was and that's the thing, man. I think again, like with the free agent thing too, like if they're competitive this next season and have a great season, they're gonna attract better free agents in the next 2 to 3 years here. Just because, like, who wouldn't want to play with Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland? Like, you know, you're going to a good team. I think those free agent teams, like, I think it's one of the reasons why. I mean, we don't want to talk about this too much, but I think it's one of the reasons why Toronto is starting to become a better free agent team, even though it's across the border. Because they're proven, you know what I mean? We have that organization. I think that just goes to speak across no matter where you go in the league. I really think you're much more interested in being a free agent in a place where you feel confident in the team that's there and the front office more than its like location.
I just wish it was better players than Otto Porter. I love Otto Porter, but I mean I wish it was like
Well, we'll
quality
talk
players.
about it.
But
We'll talk
yeah,
about it.
we will. Okay.
People on audio are going to be like, what?
Yeah. Okay, Detroit. Oh, you want to talk about Bojan and Kelly?
I wanted to talk about it at one of our next segments.
Bojan, your MIP?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll just write me down just write me down. I like the trade.
You got okay, sure.
Okay,
For
and then
who?
I'll
both sides?
no for Detroit,
Got it. Okay.
and we'll revisit it at the end of the podcast.
He makes Cade look better. Good
Yep.
shooter.
I mean, yeah.
I like Ivy.
Can I quickly touch on the Pistons?
Nah, we're gonna move on. Pacers.
Don't really think you have anything important to say. This is gonna be really quick. I really actually I'm quite indifferent to the trade. I really don't think the Pistons have changed a whole lot. I just think that this next season they're gonna be better.
Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna talk about that later. Trust me.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got more to say on the Pistons
Yeah.
later.
I think they're going to be more competitive than people think.
Yeah.
And I love
100%.
their draft. They were my favorite draft team this year.
Oh,
Ivy
yeah.
and Duran, both W's. Pacers.
Boo.
Yeah,
Pass.
nothing really. Yeah.
Really, you boo the Pacers. I like the Pacers.
but
They finally blew it up. I'm
Pacers.
proud of them.
They did blow it
Okay.
up.
proud of them.
Pacers.
Yeah.
When you're
Boo
just
last
trade
year.
Miles Turner, please.
They're going to.
Yeah.
What's the difference
I don't
between
know.
Bojan being on the
Also,
Pistons and turning?
why the hell didn't you just give DeAndre Ayton a poison pill contract to take him from the Suns? What the hell was that about, man? What do you mean? Their owner didn't want to screw with the Suns and like do this poison pill contract to get Ayton. Like they could have easily pried Ayton from the Suns and made it a contract that the Suns didn't want to match.
Like a 1 year.
No, and just made it more money and all sorts of stuff.
They
and
gave him
But like
The
you could have
most
done
money
the
or six
option,
trades
no
ever done.
options though. Like there were, I don't know, that pissed me off.
I think the Suns would have matched no matter what.
Maybe.
I think what's
I
really
just
screwing them over the
hate,
most.
I just hate the Pacers.
I think the
man.
Suns.
Like,
I mean the Suns can say it after they do it,
Yeah.
obviously. But I think the Suns said they're going to sign him no matter what.
Yeah.
I think doing like a 1-year contract would have been hilarious.
I just Pacers like call me when you're actually willing to play basketball.
Man,
Act like a real organization. Act like a real organization. Try to win games.
Man, I love the Pacers roster. Man. I'm excited to watch them. I love
Yeah.
Halliburton.
Such a bland team.
Halliburton's exciting. And
Halliburton. No,
Mathurin-
I'm talking about their front office.
Sure,
They
yeah.
don't take risks.
Yeah,
They're boring. They don't spend money, and they suck.
Hey man, that's why they can sell tickets for $1.
Well, and no one comes to your games, maybe because you don't have any. You don't actually
that
keep
didn't
players
also,
around.
you're based out of
Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah, man, I'm just not a fan.
That's like basing a NBA team out of Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
Like,
Indiana's the home of basketball, man.
I think the
Hoosiers.
worst. I think the worst attendance in the league last year.
Yeah, probably.
we're bringing a new NBA team to the
Hey, man,
to the NBA.
To the
It's gonna
corn-
be the Saskatchewan, like I don't know,
I
Saskatchewan Prairie Dogs. Like,
I
Jesus
like
Christ.
Halliburton a lot, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Benedict Mathurin.
I'm just talking about.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I totally.
Either
I see what
losers.
you mean. I'm not arguing you. I'm just saying I like Halliburton and
Oh
Mathurin.
yeah, for sure.
Duarte overrated though.
Oh yeah.
Milwaukee, same team.
Same team, gonna be
probably
awesome.
gonna be amazing.
Yep.
I think people are forgetting how amazing they are.
Yeah.
Especially
Especially because Chris Middleton was injured last year, bro.
They would have won if you.
Right?
They would have won the
Maybe
whole
they'll
thing.
win. Maybe they'll win this year.
I don't know if they would have won the whole thing, but man, they would have definitely taken it to 7 games and
Yeah.
like
They would have beat Boston. I think.
what's that?
I think they would have beat Boston.
I just don't know. Chris is so established though. That's the thing, and that like I don't think people really give Chris the credit for how much
I said I think they would have beat Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
said. I thought you
No.
were saying.
I'm just saying that I think people underestimate how much of a difference Chris Middleton makes. And just because he's not flashy, he's not, he doesn't do the things that like, Kyrie does, and he doesn't do those he doesn't have those big giant plays. You never see Chris Middleton dunk on someone
Yeah.
like
and as great as Giannis is, he needs Chris Middleton.
he has to have him, bro.
Yeah. Or
It's
someone
it's
like-
essential. They need to work together. If it's not Chris Middleton, it has to be like that small forward shooting guard who will give you that consistent 25. You know what I mean? Like you need that.
Yeah.
He like other than that, it's like okay, guard Giannis every time.
Yeah.
Like,
They're boring off season, but they're gonna be good. They're gonna be really good.
But hey, our boy Jordan Wara just got a 2-year extension, baby.
Oh
Shout out.
yeah, the goat.
Also, I
Game-changing, man.
love Marjan Beauchamp.
Oh,
Big
Marshawn.
time. Yeah, I think he should get rotation minutes off the bat.
Good total Bucks player.
Yep, such a good win in the draft.
I got an opinion on this next one.
Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes,
Not-
it's your boy.
not a fan.
It's your boy.
I love the
Is
player.
DeJounte your boy? I'm so confused. In that
I like
Yes,
DeJounte.
yes,
Okay.
DeJounte is his favorite.
I think DeJounte's weird. Man.
DeJounte, the basketball player.
Okay, fair.
Not a fan. I don't care what they gave up. I don't like the fit of DeJounte and Trae Young. I don't like
Period.
it.
Yeah, I know, I'm not-
Defensively, it's gonna work because
Big time.
DeJounte's a great defender.
Facts.
Offensively, okay. There's DeJounte Murray. For as much as he improved last year, he was an extremely inefficient player, and he really is only effective offensively
But
as an
because-
on-ball player and an occasional.
But who else was
cutter.
scoring on that
No,
team?
I know. But also, I don't want DeJounte Murray running pick and roll and controlling the ball when Trae Young, the best pick and roll player in the NBA, maybe the best pick and roll player of all time, is on
Easy.
my team. I
Deep
really am not a fan of the fit offensively. I just
Chris
don't.
Paul.
I think it'll only kind of clog things up. Defensively, he's gonna help like a lot. Just offensively, I would much rather. I don't know. I'd much rather them go get a more bona fide offensive player because I think that's one of the bigger issues is they have no one to relieve Trae Young, and DeJounte can help in those non-Trae Young minutes, but it's when they're on the floor together. I can just foresee a scenario of defenders just totally disregarding DeJounte.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that I don't think that this trade makes them contenders. I don't think that this trade
Agreed.
really changes their team in extremely fundamental ways. I just think that it's a strategic move. I think it just makes their team have a little bit more edge to them, makes them more competitive. I think it just makes them, they're probably gonna win more games than they did last year with this trade. But I really don't think that this is a monumental thing that's gonna, it's gonna shake the league. It's really not like that. But quickly, I don't know if I agree with you on the fact that I just think DeJounte is like so shifty, and his ability to get to the rim is so. And he's I think if you allow DeJounte to get to the rim and allow him to be shifty in the paint, I think you can allow Trae Young to hang out on the outside a little bit more and then have the opportunity to go in when he needs to.
I do see your point about the fact that you want the ball in Trae's hands because he's one of the best pick and roll players. He's really good at pick and roll, like best in the league probably. Which means he has to have the ball in his hands, which means DeJounte's playing off ball.
Yeah.
DeJounte's not a good off ball offensive
Yeah.
player.
Right.
I see that. But I think they'll figure it out. They're NBA players. I think they'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about it. I think when
why
you
not,
have an
like,
opportunity to have
Can you
better,
figure
a
out how
more
to
improved
consistently
roster.
shoot threes though?
Well, I mean, I don't think he has to.
No,
Like,
I don't think he has to
yeah,
either. Like I feel
he's still an amazing playmaker. Like Trae Young, I think they're going to run sets where DeJounte is the playmaker and Trae will come off the ball.
that's what I think so too.
Yeah, I think Trae Young's going to be, when you look at the stats,
You're gonna see him playing more off ball this year than you will have ever seen.
But I think when you look at stats, Trae Young's still going to have the ball in his hands more than DeJounte.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have to do it that way. But I don't think I think they'll figure something out. I think DeJounte's still going to run a lot, and Trae Young will be an off-ball player sometimes. I think it'll work. And then they're going to do a lot of minutes where they're going to go back and forth.
Yes.
It's going to be that whole thing where they're going to start together, then throughout the game, Trae will be on or DeJounte will be on, and then they'll close the game with them together.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that too much. I think the trade's mid though. I kind of agree with Luke where it's just maybe you win one or two more games this year.
It's not elevating that team.
No, but I think if you
can
go out and improve your team, I think they traded a lot of draft picks for it. I think it was a little. I know I just talked about overpaying, but I think there's a situation. Donovan Mitchell is one of the best players one of the best shooting guards in the league. Jonte is a borderline all-star, and he probably won't be an all-star this year or maybe ever again. So, and he's weird.
Yeah,
and his primary skill defense is really it's predicated upon athleticism mainly, and that only gets worse as your defense usually only gets worse once you hit a certain height defensively, and it actually has gotten worse over the last few years.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a really good player. But
Yeah. I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I do see your points.
I just want one last thing.
Yeah, go for
Was
it.
that
Go for it.
I do think that you're going to see Trae Young playing more off ball, because if you look who have the Atlanta Hawks had in the past where they gave Trae really the opportunity to play off ball, because he's been the only true scorer there since he was drafted. Like, and I think that's the reality of the situation. I think one of the reasons why he's so good at pick and roll is because, well, like, what else has he really had to work with? Like, what else has he had to do? And I think you're going to definitely see more creative sets coming from Atlanta this year because there is an added threat. You know?
And I trust Nick McMillan to. I think he's.
I disagree. I don't.
Really?
I think he's too old school.
I like Nate. I don't think he can be old school.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
I think he's done a decent job with them. I think a little overly on the pick and roll stuff, but he kind of have to with that team. I think he's gonna change his ways. I don't want to talk about Charlotte at all. Please, never.
Yeah. You guys suck.
I hate Steve Clifford. I hate that. What's wrong with you?
Humpty Dumpty.
God, I'm so mad about Steve Clifford. I'm sorry. Like, James Borrego's better. I don't love James
Sell
Borrego,
the
but he's
team,
way
MJ.
better than Steve
MJ,
Clifford.
man. Sell the team, bro.
Yeah, MJ, man. Come on, what are you doing, man? Big L. Miami.
They didn't do much.
Yeah.
I got more to say on them later.
I think they're underrated, though. I think
Let's wait and get into that.
Okay, sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't write them down, but that's another thing. Yeah, I think everyone's kind of writing them off because they didn't make any moves.
All right. Well, we'll see when
anyway,
later on.
yeah,
then.
we'll talk about it. Orlando, Paolo Banchero. Let's talk about him a little bit.
Well, Paulo himself I'll talk about later, but Orlando as a team, too bad Marco Fultz just got hurt. But I have a few things about Orlando.
Go for it,
later
man.
on.
I call seconds.
Well,
I'll talk after.
not about Orlando the team. Orlando the team is still going to be a bad team this year, but I think they've got a lot of awesome pieces in place. Jalen Suggs, Wagner, Paulo now. Wendell Carter took a step last year. Cole Anthony's still a solid NBA player, and he took a relative step last year.
Mo
Bamba, nice bench big man who also took a step last year. So I think this is like they're actually trending. I think they've really done the rebuild quite well, and they're trending in the right direction.
Quickly too.
Yep, and I thought Paulo was a great draft pick at number 1.
That was exactly who I wanted to draft number
Nice.
1.
You're right about Markel, though. I think
It's too bad. Like that guy just can't stay healthy.
I know, man. It's really tough.
I think he just needs to stop playing basketball until the season starts. It's
Don't
always,
exercise, man.
Yeah, just sit down.
Yeah, bro.
until the
Stay in
season
bed,
starts.
man. Stay in bed.
Sit. Just stay.
He'd still
here.
find a way to get hurt,
Yeah.
man. This cat would attack.
Just play 2K, bro.
Yeah. Man, I love Markel Fultz too. It's upsetting, but no, I think Cole Anthony's probably getting traded at some point. I think they gotta. I think Jalen Suggs has to be that guy, and Cole Anthony is a very good off-ball guy. I think maybe he can be their 6 man. I think that's his role.
A lot of
though.
guards.
I think,
a lot of the guards on that team.
yeah, I think that's his role as a 6 man.
Yeah.
I think you really have to invest more in Jalen Suggs. That's what I'm really hoping for this year. Is that they
That's
show that they invest more in Jalen Suggs because they put the ball in Quinn Anthony's hands a lot last year, a lot more than Jalen Suggs, and you can't draft a guy.
And
like that.
hopefully Jalen's healthy this year. That's
Yeah, that was the thing. Also,
That's the whole thing
One
with
of the
Orlando.
reasons-
Yeah.
What's that?
That's the whole thing with Orlando, is just health for some of these young guys, right? Let's actually see them develop.
But I'm very excited
Yeah.
because they are hurt a lot, so I'm very excited. Except for Fultz now, they're fully healthy at this point.
Except for-
Jonathan Isaac's back.
that dude's gone. No, he's gone, man. They just released. He's not even participating in training camp.
Jonathan Isaac?
Today they said, he's still not. He's on a training camp.
Are you kidding?
Oh yeah,
You're being serious?
yeah. The president, Jeff Heltman, spoke today.
Joe Biden said that?
Joe Biden. Joe Byron.
So
Wait. What?
yeah, so Jonathan Isaac's still
Okay, well.
dealing with an injury.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it came out today. There's a video of Jeff Wellman talking about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, said Jonathan Isaac won't participate in full team practice. Start camp will be integrated. No, he's going to be integrated slowly.
Integrated
So
slowly.
he's still being on the roster.
He'll be on the roster. I don't think.
Oh, I
he's...
thought you meant like he was going to get traded
Yeah,
or
I
something.
thought you
Oh,
said-
no,
I
no.
thought
You meant
it
like,
sounded
oh,
like
he's
he
not,
was
like I thought like a
gone.
Jay Crowder type situation.
No. I meant he's not gonna like.
Oh, okay.
I don't
yeah,
think he's
yeah.
gonna be like
No,
playing
yeah.
basketball until like
No, he hasn't played
November.
for 2 years. Like, he's
Yeah.
going to be slowly. Yeah, I get that.
Not
I'm
a
saying.
fan,
I'm just
yeah.
saying he's still. Yeah. Okay.
He's still an Orlando Magic player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that scared me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, he's going to get traded.
No. I don't think anyone wants him.
But and also
I
too,
think
like,
Minnesota would be cool.
when it comes to Jalen Suggs
I like
too, like, I think like people were kind of underwhelmed by his performance last year, but I think you're right, Elias, in saying that they have Cole Anthony. Like they've got the established sort of guard, and what do you do? Like Jalen Suggs is like they're almost. I mean, I don't want to say they're the same player, but you know they do a lot of the same
Yeah.
things,
And this is where a lot of people talk about teams that are high in the draft drafting for talent and not fit. I think so this is the reason why you got to draft for fit more.
I think he fits well though.
With
Yeah,
Cole
but
Anthony
if-
and Markelle Fultz on that roster. Like,
Well, I
there's so
don't
much
think
on that
Markelle.
roster.
I just don't see Markelle as a starter.
I want
Or Cole Anthony as a starter.
No, I don't think.
Right.
But I don't think they'll admit that.
Well, they don't have to yet though, right? They just
guess.
don't have another guard.
But-
Well, get Gary Harris, I guess.
But he's out for the year, which sucks.
Oh right,
Yeah. He signed him to a 2-year, 26.
Yeah.
He got
Oh, at least he got his
ACL.
money.
you're like that was guaranteed, right? It was guaranteed, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone-
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Washington pass.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
bro.
good.
Shout out Monte Morris, man.
I love
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma.
I saw Kyle Kuzma over the summer, and he was wearing the craziest drip I've ever seen in my
And
life.
he is a drippy guy, but he was the guy who we made fun of this past season for wearing the
The
The pink, the Thneed.
The Thneed, yeah, the
Thneed.
Thneed. He was rocking the Thneed this last year.
Dallas traded for Christian Wood. Any
No,
thoughts?
not a fan. We talked about this before. I'm not a big Christian Wood guy at all. But they just came out and said that he's going to come off the bench, not
Yeah.
start, which I am.
I'm cool with that.
I mean,
If Christian Wood's coming off your bench, who cares? Like, what I like more than the Christian Wood was the JaVale McGee
Right,
deal.
yeah.
Me too,
A
big
good
time.
lob threat for Luka. But I'm losing Brunson does hurt. I'm just not a big fan of this team
Yeah, when was
coming
last
into next
time-
year.
When was the last time JaVale wasn't on a contending team?
Hey, man. It's a sign of the times, right?
Yeah.
You get
Well,
JaVale, you're gonna go pretty far.
Yeah. No, I like JaVale also more than Christian Wood, but I think they need more offensive talent, and I think having Christian Wood off your bench is
Yeah, I think they're gonna miss a creator like Brunson. I
good.
think
You
it's
get,
gonna
you
be
get Dinwiddie though,
yeah,
and Tim Hardaway's back.
yeah,
Tim Hardaway's cool.
yeah.
he's all right. But like,
I like Dallas.
I'm glad. Like, maybe this is more to talk about Houston, but I'm glad Christian Wood left Houston because I think that sometimes when you have like older guys like that, it can kind of mess with what's happening with a really young team like the Rockets right now. And I really think that in order for those guys to find themselves as players, I just think that Christian Wood on that team doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. You know what? They're not contending.
They
They're not
didn't have to
contending.
trade much for him though. I think you're just getting another offense. Oh, you mean in Houston doesn't make sense, or in Dallas?
He doesn't make sense in Houston.
Okay, yeah, no,
yeah,
agreed,
no,
yes.
I don't like Christian Wood in Houston because just what is he? That they're not a contending team. Like you want to offer a guy like if Christian Wood's like 28 years old, like man, like you want to offer a guy like that a chance to contend. And if you're gonna send him to the Mavericks, I don't think that's a better place to send him. Like you know, like Mavericks have marginally improved in one area, but I like you said, I think they're missing the
Yeah.
fact they lost Jalen Brunson. I
Yeah.
think it really is a big hit. to them.
I'm not. I think they got worse. Over
Yeah,
the last
I think they'll be aight. Houston.
Yeah.
We got to kind of
Yeah,
go quicker
let's
here.
go to the shitty teams.
Memphis, not much.
They got worse.
Not talking about Spurs. Pelicans. They re-signed CJ for another extended CJ.
Larry Nance is gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
Zion's back.
Zion's back. Zion's looking healthier
They're,
than
I think
ever.
they'll be a top 6 seed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call that
agree
right
100%.
now.
I think
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Warriors, Clippers are back with all their players.
I got more on that later.
Lakers mid.
Bro, that's mid fest.
Suns mid.
Yeah, man. Oh.
Kings excited for them. I like their roster.
Kevin
Denver.
Herter, man. Kevin Herter, the Kings. I love that.
And I like
deal.
Malik Monk
and
too.
Malik Monk,
I
bro,
like that
shooters.
too. Yep.
Yep.
Who do you want to start?
Oh, bro, I gotta go with Kev.
Yeah, me too. Denver.
Bruce Brown, love that
Me
acquisition.
too. That's my favorite of the
Love
offseason.
that.
KCP.
KCP.
I love KCP in the roster.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter Jr.
Bro.
If he's actually
Michael Porter Jr. Man, get a new back.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon,
Yeah,
Nikola Jokic.
and then you got Bruce Brown off the bench.
That
who I think
is an insane
as a pick and roll partner with
starting
Jokic.
five.
There's an episode of Star Trek where
It's totally irrelevant.
No, it's
I
not.
know.
Yeah, it's just like something totally random. Like, oh, one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek. No, there's an episode of Star Trek where one of the characters, Worf, he's a Klingon, and he's like saving somebody from a container that's falling in their loading bay, and he ends up destroying his back, and he's either gonna be like paralyzed, and so or he's gonna die. And there's this novel procedure that he can go under where they will genetically build him a new spine.
MPJ talked to that doctor.
And
man.
I'm like this is the technology that we need to bring in. I think that we should just. It's just cool because you see in the scene just a fucking spine just like on the table, and it's just like, why don't we just.
Mike, let's get
Yeah,
that.
let's put that in. I mean, it worked for Worf, man. That guy got full functionality. He was a quadriplegic before, or some shit like that. Like this guy came back. He was lifting stuff. Like,
Hey, there you go.
yeah, let's get it going, guys.
Denver.
Denver training staff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on.
But I do think that those acquisitions are
and,
wonderful.
And it's gonna be really cool seeing Jokic and Bruce Brown, like you said,
Yeah.
pick and roll.
Inverse.
Except Bruce Brown's
Yeah.
the roller.
Yeah, it's been like so funny.
The
yeah.
6'4" Bruce Brown. Okay, Minnesota, Rudy Gobert.
Okay,
Can I
yeah,
first?
you go ahead. Yeah, because you're more passionate.
I freaking love this trade so much for Minnesota, man. I think you look at Utah's roster that they had last year, one of the best defensive rosters for that such a long stretch in the NBA, and it's because of Rudy Gobert. There's no other good defenders on that team. There's Mike Conley's all right, Joe Ingles is decent, Royce O'Neal was okay. They had no actual defenders except for Rudy Gobert, and they're one of the best in the league. Now you have him playing with Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell, all very strong offensive weapons. You still have a lot of depth actually with Kyle Anderson. You got Oscar Rivers, who I actually like a lot. McDaniels, very versatile defender. Jordan McLaughlin was actually a decent backup point guard he showed last year. Nas Reed is a good defensive center.
Great passer.
Yep. That team's really good. And for all you people who are freaking saying he can't close in the playoffs. First of all, yes, he can. But especially with that roster. But secondly, he doesn't have to with this roster because you already have a team that were they the 5 seed last year? 4 seed, 5 seed, 6 seed? Were they
6, I thought.
Okay. They were very good last year, and they were very good in the playoffs last year still. And that's the same roster, but now you just have Rudy Gobert. Also, he doesn't need to close games, but you need someone to help you get to the fact that you got to close a game. You know, like not every game you're closing a game if it's a blowout. You got to get to the point where it's a close game or you're winning the game. And then you can take Rudy Gobert out, and you still have Cat, you still have Edwards, and you still have D'Lo there.
Yep.
That's a really good team. Western Conference Finals.
I'm
Write it down.
not as high. I not
high.
based on what they gave up.
On that team.
Just I'm not. I'm worries me. Cat. I don't know if he's athletic enough and versatile enough to guard out on the perimeter. If you're gonna play Rudy Gobert at drop to
Yeah, but
utilize
neither
his
was
best.
anybody on Utah.
No, but also they weren't slow like Cat. I worry about that, and I also just worry about. I think that's kind of my only worry. Honestly, that's my only worry with that team. I think they're gonna be way better than. Well, no, I think they're gonna be better than last year for sure. Their defense is gonna be, I think, fine in the regular season.
Top 4 seed?
I'll say top 5. And I just
Top five.
the one thing I worry about is Cat maybe getting exploited a little bit if he's guarding 4s.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
I'd have to agree with you, Sam.
but I think
Even though I think Rudy Gobert is going to really change that team, make them a lot better.
I think McDaniel is going to guard a lot of the good wing players.
Yeah.
Like you throw Cat on,
Who though?
Cat on Royce O'Neal against Brooklyn. You know, like it's,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think Cat's gonna have too much responsibility defensively, especially because you want to save him for offense.
Right.
And then like Anthony Edwards actually a pretty good defender. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna lock in this year too. I really like that team, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be really fun. They're one of the
Yeah.
most fun teams to watch last
Yeah.
year. So Vando, it hurts my heart to see Vando on a bad team.
Utah, man. I thought they were gonna trade him again, which is what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
But hey, man, Utah could be no. OKC, sorry, Chet.
Yeah, Shea's hurt too.
It's so tough. Wait,
Yeah.
Shea got hurt?
Yeah.
What?
MCL. Yeah.
No.
Well, no, it's not. Okay, easy.
MCL.
Yeah, and it's like strained it. He's
Oh.
fine.
He's gonna
fine.
miss the start of the season though.
Yeah, like for the first 10 games.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But that team's gonna be.
I'm so sorry for their fans.
I actually, but I love the 12th overall pick, Jalen Williams, so much, man. He is a sleeper rookie to pick. Year pick.
Shay,
He's not my
ask
pick. But
out.
he's a sleeper.
Shay, get mad and ask out. Your team sucks. Your front office, they're not making a winning team. Ask out, man. Come
Come to
home.
Toronto,
Yeah, come
man.
home,
Let's
Shay.
go.
I know you want to do it.
Yeah. Portland, I actually like the starting five, but they have no depth.
Jeremy Grant, decent acquisition.
Yeah,
For what
very-
they did, just
Very
pick
versatile
a
defender.
path though, please.
And signing
Like,
Anthony Simons because now
yeah,
like,
you re-sign every sign
And
or
extended Dame.
extended
yeah.
Dame.
The thing is too is like that I think that Anthony
2 years, 100 mil.
I think we may have talked about this before. Maybe I'm getting deja vu, but the Anthony Simons thing is I think important because now you have a young guy like that who really does have high potential, and it doesn't matter how Dame progresses over the next couple years because you can I wouldn't say you want to build around Anthony Simons, but he's a great piece for you to work with once Dame's out of there, and now you've got him locked in.
He's like your backup plan, sort of like your succession
Your
plan.
succession
Yeah.
plan, right? And I think that's like there's no better. I think like Portland really. I think they just committed to okay, we're not gonna be.
We're just gonna be an 8 seed again.
Yeah, we're gonna be an 8C again. But I think that within the next couple of years, if they start making some different moves, some big moves, right? Like if they're able to move Dame like in his.
Well, I don't think there's for sure. I think they could be better than Ace. Like that's a team that could definitely be a sleeper. I mean, you still got Damian
Yeah,
Lillard.
that's
Like
true.
Damian
That's
Lillard
very
is
true.
amazing. And then I think you have better defense.
he did have
than
his
you
worst
used to.
season last year, though.
Yeah, but he had injuries all year.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you're
Jeremy
a
will
much
help.
better defensive team than you've been for a long time with Josh Hart and
Right.
Jeremy Grant's a very versatile defender. I think he'll be more locked in defensively too. He's not in Detroit, and then you got like Nas Little off the bench, who I like defensively a lot and
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a decent team.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah. They didn't do anything to hurt themselves.
I'd watch
Yeah.
Trailblazers games this year for
I'm
sure.
gonna watch a good amount of Trailblazers.
Jazz.
Utah Jazz last year.
I was actually I liked what they did in the Cleveland trade. I liked getting back Sexton.
Yep, me too.
I think, you get someone that makes your fans
And-
excited to watch.
And I love Agbaji, but I don't love him on Utah because I think he's a win now rookie.
Yeah.
I wish
But
he was on a better team.
he'll be an NBA player, and Utah needs those right now.
Oh, 100% he's an NBA player.
And you got a lot of picks, I guess. So.
Yeah, trade Mike Conley too. It's just weird.
Free him.
Yeah,
bro.
let Colin Sexton be the
Yeah.
guy, and also
Yeah,
Jordan
wait,
Clarkson.
I can't believe he's still playing for the Jazz. That's
Yeah.
so.
That's
And so is Jordan
a
Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. I think will be a trade deadline.
Yeah, probably. I think Mike Conley might be
Mike.
also.
Yeah, probably.
I'm surprised Charlotte didn't try and get him. Just have another point guard.
Yeah.
They signed Dennis Smith Jr.
I don't think we can put a reason to anything Charlotte does.
Yeah, dude. I hate Charlotte. Charlotte's my new Indiana. I hate Charlotte.
I hate Indiana. You hate Charlotte. that division.
All right.
Awards.
That was fun.
Yeah. So.
I can lead this if you want.
We're
Or do
doing-
you want to lead it?
Well, no, you're good. Are we doing awards for this coming up season?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Predictions.
Or award predictions. It'll give us a chance to talk about some stars and
Yeah.
players and teams. We got a few other categories. All right. Let's get started with the big one, MVP.
You want to start with the VP?
Okay, we can start from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start from the bottom. Yeah.
Want to go most improved?
Sure.
All right, most improved
It's a fun one.
player. This one can have like so many different answers.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, most improved player.
I'll go first. RJ Barrett is my
Oh,
pick for
nice.
most improved player.
Nice.
I think.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah, I think Julius Randle is gonna intentionally stick it takes. I think Tibbs is gonna. As much as I don't love Tibbs' coaching style, I think he's gonna have to make Julius Randle take a step back. And then you got to understand RJ is your guy.
Yeah.
I think he will be that guy, and I can see him. I think he's I can think he'd be an all-star this year, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And especially if the Knicks are decent, which I think they can be decent. Like I'm saying, like 8 to 10 seed. Maybe the East is really good, but we'll see. But I do love RJ Barrett. I think he's has a good team around him to be successful, and yeah, I can see him averaging like 22 this year, something like that,
Nice.
5 assists. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he looked great in the second half of last year.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's really efficient.
Yeah.
He's efficiency is his biggest problem.
Yeah.
I think you also have a guy like Jalen Brunson to take some load off him.
A little more
offensively.
spacing too.
Yeah. So yeah, RJ Barrett's my guy.
Do you want?
I mean, yeah, my this is like a really weird pick, but I honestly think that like
Otto Porter Jr.
I'm only saying this because I really think that this guy can make a substantial jump this year that is going to surprise a lot of people. But I think Cade Cunningham could potentially be.
That's along the lines
most
of my
improved.
pick.
Well,
I was laughing at how you said it. I was laughing at your pick.
well, no, it's just because I think
sure.
like. Since he was injured last year, I really think he just didn't get the opportunity to really showcase what his skills are. And I think that he could go from being an 18 points per game scorer to a 25 point per game scorer.
Kind of like Luka in his first 2 years.
I honestly think that that's like totally obtainable for him. And like I think like if he ends up shocking people next year with how good he is,
I wouldn't even be
be
shocked.
surprised.
Like he's so good.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, just because like everyone knew he was good, but like I think.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
And he was low key the best rookie last year. That's a debate for another time.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Look at the camera and say that.
My most improved is along the same lines. I chose Jalen Suggs as my most improved.
But okay, here's my thing.
That's a good pick.
That's
Yeah,
interesting. Second year guys never really win. most
well,
improved.
I feel like they have been. Didn't
Ja was third
Bane
year.
win it second year?
No, Ja won it. Doesn't
Oh.
Bane never win most improved?
Did he not?
No, Ja won, and then he gave it to Desmond Bane.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going Jalen Suggs because I think people were really underwhelmed by him last year. He dealt with injuries all year.
Rightfully
He never.
so.
And he wasn't good last year, and he never really got going.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big Jalen Suggs fan in that draft, and
me
I
too.
think he is. First of all, I think he can be one of the best perimeter defenders in the league in his prime. I think his playmaking ability is awesome. It's just about developing his off the dribble game. Once he gets by defenders, he's fine. It's getting by his defender and running the pick and roll, and then the shooting has to improve to at least a league average level. But I think Jalen, with hopefully a full season under his belt, he's got like point guards usually take a little bit to develop, right? Remember De'Aaron Fox in his first year was really bad compared to his second year. He actually had a case for most improved.
I think he was a nominee.
Yep, he was. Yeah. So I'm going Jalen Suggs, and then as always, shout out Devin Vassell, man. You're gonna make some leaps, man. They're not gonna notice you, but I'll notice you.
I think if you're gonna pick a guy from the last year's draft to win, I would go Cade over Suggs. But
Yeah.
I think Suggs is a little bit of a reach, but I do love Suggs. I think he's gonna be really good this year.
Cade was my second pick.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. All right, rookie of the year. I guess I can go first in this one. I went Paulo. Pretty basic. I just think he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot. And that's really kind of what you need to win rookie of the year. It doesn't really matter how well your team plays. So I think Paulo is the most NBA ready guy out of that draft as well. I've got a dark horse.
You think so?
That's also there, but I think Paulo's
Who's your dark horse?
Keegan Murray.
That was my dark horse.
Yeah. But yeah, Paulo is my pick. So very Orlando Magic centered.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I didn't really know what to pick for this one, but
Christian Coloco.
Christian,
G League MVP.
Honestly, I'd probably have to agree with Paolo just because I
Yeah.
like his versatility and the fact that I think people do forget he's like 6'11" or
Yeah.
how tall he is, or however
tall.
tall
He's
he
like
is.
massive dude,
bro.
yeah.
And
250 pounds already.
his skill is just something that I think is just very easily NBA translatable, and
Especially for rookie of the year, right? He's
yeah,
gonna get his points.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Suggs, somewhat of a playmaker. Cole's not really a playmaker. Paolo is a playmaker. I think
Yeah.
he'll get a lot of those touches also.
Yeah.
Paolo is definitely up there for me. He might be my pick, but just switch it up. I like Jaden Ivey a lot also.
Oh, nice.
I think Jaden Ivey could be really interesting. In the Rookie of the Year race, I think him next to Cade, I love that.
That's gonna be fun in a few years.
I'm gonna watch a lot of
too,
Detroit.
yeah.
Too. Yeah, dude. Like, Jaden Ivey's. I don't have an official pick. I mean, me and my friend do this bet every year, and he got first picks. He picked Paolo. I would have picked Paolo first pick. But I got with Jaden Ivey with my pick, so I'm gonna stick with my guy, Jaden Ivey.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, sixth man of the year, probably the hardest one in my opinion
Yeah,
because
first this one.
rotations can change so much.
Yeah, that's why I had a hard
Yeah.
time picking this one. And honestly, if it stays the same, okay, who won six man last year?
Hero.
It was
Oh yeah, Tyler Hero.
yeah, and to be
He was like a
honest,
runaway too.
Yeah, it was easy.
yeah, and like that's the thing is, to be honest, I don't really know if I have much of a pick for this. If I had to
Sure.
say anyone, I'd probably say it would be Tyler Hero. Like, and
I think,
but
I
he,
think, I think,
he won
I think,
it.
I think
So
they're gonna start him this year. I think they have to, or else he's gonna be unhappy and leave.
yeah,
But I think he should be starting too. Actually, I have another Miami Heat guy winning my Sixth Man of the Year. I think Victor Oladipo is my Sixth Man of the Year.
Oh,
I
man.
think he's gonna.
You still
have
hope?
His post hyped me up. I think he's feeling himself. I'm feeling him. I think you got him. You got him under Spoelstra, man. I think he could be really good off the bench for him this
Yeah,
year.
it's just been a long time since I've seen him.
It's been like a year.
Yeah.
And he actually had some really good games in the last year.
And
In the playoffs too, he had to get some weird playoffs.
And if Hero starts, he probably will be the next guy up
There
in
you
that
go.
position. My sixth man of the year is Norman Powell on the Clippers.
I almost picked Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson.
My thing though is that they have so many guys at their bench.
They
where
do.
I don't know if
I think
his numbers will be, because usually they pick the numbers guy. you
But
know?
Norm, I think, is one of the guys who can get his numbers and efficiently. And if that team's as good as I think they're going to be, then I think he's going to get a lot of minutes as well. But he's never going to start because he's behind Paul George and Kawhi.
Yeah.
So I went Norm, and then conditional. Who knows how the starting lineup shakes out? But a Raptors one, I have Gary Trent.
Yeah,
Conditionally, if he ends up not starting, but yeah, that one depends
I want him to not
on other
start.
factors. Yeah, that's we'll talk about that later in the week.
Yeah.
All right, defensive player of the year, Elias.
This one was really tough for me. I almost picked Giannis. I almost picked Draymond, just generic, but I thought I should spread it out a little bit. I got Herb Jones.
Oh,
defensive player of the year, man.
nice.
I think a lot of the defensive weight's going to be put on his back with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Because Ingram's not a right defender. CJ can't guard really. Jonas can't guard really.
No.
They don't have much perimeter defense on that team. I think a big load's going to be on Herb, and I think if a big load is on Herb and they have a above average defense this year, he has a really good case for it. So that's kind of my thing.
And he's a crazy talented defender.
Yeah.
Luke?
I think my DPOY for next year, and I really hope this happens, but I'd like to see Evan Mobley.
That's mine as
I'd
well.
like to see Evan Mobley win
Those
Defensive Player of the Year.
Really
Like,
that's a really good pick.
it's just like now that Markkanen's gone and you have Donovan Mitchell, who isn't that great of a defender. Like, I think just there's gonna be a bigger load on Evan, and I really think that I don't want to like speak for anybody here, but I think the fact that he didn't win Rookie of the Year and he was so close as a runner-up next to Scotty, I think he really wants to establish himself as that defensive player. Because let's be real, the weakest part about Scotty's game last year, like I honestly think like his defense was really like
especially early in the year.
It was really questionable.
like his offense, his off-ball defense. We always criticize his off-ball defense, and
Don't get it. His potential defense leads.
No,
outstanding.
through the roof. But
currently,
it's just honestly like Evan Mobley was a better defender last year, and I think like I think that he can defend anyone like in the league.
Yeah,
he just has
special,
that versatility to play.
We all picked second-year NBA players as this. Kind of goes to show defense is still relevant.
Yeah, and it matters to be young.
It matters
too,
now more
for
than ever,
defense.
just with the positionless stuff.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why I was thinking about Rudy Gobert, but I'm like, I mean, he's already won Defensive Player of the Year, but I mean, people can win stuff like that again, but the thing is like,
I just want to be boring.
and like he actually probably could maybe
my
even
legit
win it,
pick
but
was probably Rudy Gobert, to be honest.
well, and that's the thing is he probably could win it, but the thing is, it's just that his position in the Wolves right now is one of the things where I'm like, I am gonna have to see it before I really can make an opinion about it because I just don't know how it's gonna play out.
If I had to bet money, I'd bet on Rudy. I think.
That's a safe bet.
Do you want to bet some money?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, the big one, MVP.
Coach of the year.
Oh, coach.
I wanna throw
Okay,
some out
I
to
don't have a
coaches.
coach, so if you have a coach of the
Yeah,
year,
I
never
have
that.
two. I just want to shout out.
Okay, go ahead.
Mike Malone and Willie Green.
all right, Willie Green, man,
My
good
two
coach.
names. Yeah,
Willie
I
Green
think-
did a great job last
I think
year.
Denver's gonna be really good this year too if they stay healthy. And Mike Malone's hasn't won one forever. He hasn't won one at all. Also, Ty Lue. I
Ty
think
Lue,
there's a
man,
lot
give
of-
that man a coach of the year award, bro.
He'll get one.
Best coach in the
We're
league.
gonna eventually. Easy. He's up. He's good, but
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
MVP.
MVP. My MVP pick.
Can we say it at the same time? I'm curious. You all three will say it at the same time.
Okay, I was seeing two guys, so.
Okay. Fine. Never mind. We'll forget. Bad idea, guys. Bad
Okay,
idea.
my
Stupid.
my
Stupid. Why
My-
did you say that?
my,
I'm sorry.
my MVP pick is Joel Embiid.
Oh, mine is the same.
He
same here.
he had a case last year, not a good one, but he had a case, top 3, and I think that
case.
team is going to be really good this year, especially in the regular season with a full year of Harden.
I think differently.
I thought I was between two guys for MVP. Joel was healthy last year. That's a big thing for MVP and Joel. But I think also MVP you have to take into account voters and how they're going to vote. So I went with Joel. I think it's his time.
He's got a huge chip on his shoulder, man. Like,
Yeah.
Joel, I think.
He's been close a couple years now. So
Well,
And
yeah.
just for terms of winning, he's got a big chip on his
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, that's the thing, and
Never been to the conference finals.
and I think that he really they really want to go far this year, and I think they're just, if there's a year that they're gonna make it really far, it's gonna be probably this next year, because then you got to look, okay, Joel's 28, he's only really getting older.
Harden's getting
like,
older.
His play style is like, You know, I mean, it's got some longevity to it, but at the same time, like, man, we saw this last year. This guy can't play like 30 minutes a game, bro. Like and that's only gonna get worse. His stamina and his endurance is terrible.
Here's my reason why I don't think. See, he was in my mind also, but I don't think he'll win because I don't think they're gonna be a great regular season team.
Right.
I think they definitely have conference finals potential.
Right.
100%. I think James Harden has a chip on his shoulder. Also, I think he's gonna be way better this year than he was last year. But I don't think they're gonna be a great regular season team.
Right.
So
who's your?
my pick is Giannis.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I think
Honestly,
I think the Bucks are very very handily, but I think they're pretty easily the best team in the East. In my
I
opinion.
agree.
Person who I also think is like a good honorable mention too is KD, man. Like,
if he plays the full year,
like if he does play the full year, man, I totally think that he could win MVP.
He's
Man.
got chip on his shoulder. That's why I'm so excited this year. Some of you guys have chips on their
and
shoulder.
also the guy, one guy I was debating between with Joel was Luka, but I still think the Mavericks
Luka too.
Mavericks aren't gonna be good enough.
Same reason as what I think about Joel.
Okay, so that does it for the individual stuff. I've got a couple team questions. I think we've already talked about a few of these teams, but it'll give us a chance to dive in a little more. So do you guys have an underrated team for this upcoming season?
I do, Sam.
All right, who is it?
I have a few. Which one do I want to highlight? You got Luka, you go first.
Mine would be the Orlando Magic.
Nice.
I think that
heavy magic podcast.
What?
Yeah, heavy magic podcast.
Well, just because like I do think that just they've had a really rough past couple years, but I don't think it's changed the mindset of the front office. I don't think it's changed the pieces that they do have and the proven players that they have, and you know their ability to attract very high talent and very, very good players. I really think that you know, they just have not been good for the past, like, you know, I don't even know, like
since they haven't actually good since
Shaq left, bro, for real.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
They're in the finals. They're in the finals that one year.
And the thing is too is like, I don't know. I just think people are they're a young team, man. They're a young team. They're up and coming. I mean,
so when you say underrated, what do you mean by underrated?
I just think they're gonna perform better and win more games than people think that they're gonna win.
What's their
year.
ceiling?
Good question. I don't know. I think they could, honestly, I could see them being like a 5th seed or 6th seed or 6th seed. Like probably
Orlando?
Yeah,
this
man.
year?
Like
I can't go that high. I was gonna say like 10.
That's no
I was
way.
gonna say 10.
maybe right 10.
10 is
That
the
low?
ceiling.
Sorry,
The East
fifth
is
is cap.
so-
5th is cap. I mean,
The
maybe
East is so stacked.
it is really stacked. But
I think if they're an 11th seed, 12th seed, I'm surprised. That's what I think. That's
Really?
them. That's them.
I think they have enough. I think they showed
5th
last
seed
year.
is definitely cap. But I
Their
mean,
defense was so good last year.
I just think, I don't know. I just think they're gonna be better. I think they're having more offense this year. Like
I agree.
Like,
I
Yeah,
agree.
they'll be good, but I mean, you got Boston,
sorry.
Brooklyn,
Maybe like
Philly, Toronto, Chicago,
That's very
Cleveland,
true.
like Milwaukee.
I wasn't.
Atlanta.
You asked me on the spot. I was like, I just
Sorry.
said something random. To be honest, like I'm trying to think. Like I'd like them to be up there. I think that they have the potential to be up there in the
Eventually.
next couple of years. Like I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I'd probably say I don't know. If I had to give a realistic, if I'm saying reevaluation, I'd probably say I'd like to see them at like I don't know, maybe an 8th seed, 7th seed, something like that.
Sure. If that's a hot take still, but that's sure.
All right, you're
Yeah,
underrated.
Yeah, I have a few. Minnesota's underrated to me. Like New Orleans underrated to me. Dallas kind of underrated to me, but I think I always want to talk about Miami.
Oh, because they're my overrated team.
Because they really,
Yep.
Everyone's kind of hating on them right now.
Yeah,
Man.
they're my overrated team.
They're still okay. Here's why I think they're underrated is because everyone's kind of underrated them because so many other East teams made moves. I don't know why it matters that they didn't make a move. They were in the conference finals last year, and they almost won.
Yeah, they did almost.
And they lost PJ Tucker. That's it. I think they're still elite.
My reason for them being overrated has nothing to do with what they did over the offseason, really. It's got to do with a couple things. First of all,
Jimmy Butler's hair.
well, not that.
Cover his eyes.
not a fan of their offense really at all. I know it looked good. Jimmy Butler kind of went nuclear in the playoffs.
But he always does that.
But it's an older.
Why won't he this year?
It's hard for me to rely on a guy that isn't like a Kevin Durant, Luka type guy.
But in the playoffs, he is.
But I don't know. I can't rely on that every year for them to be iffy all regular season because their offense is bad in the regular season. Kyle Lowry, love him. Yeah, I think he's over the hill. Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. I think Kyle's over the hill. Bam, great defensive player. He's not taking the steps offensively that I expected.
He said he's gonna take 18 shots.
Hey, bro, I say that I'm gonna be a millionaire, but
You never said that.
no, I never.
Sam, you say you hate millionaires. You see the exact opposite almost every single day.
You said Fiasco, you never want to own your own property. You didn't say that. You already said that. It was like we were talking. I was like, Sam, like, I won't get into the details, but he was like, he didn't want to own his own property ever.
There were levels.
Sam.
There were layers. Okay,
You're gonna own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And the Miami, I'm not saying they're not gonna be a playoff team. I'm just saying I could see them being an 8 seed, 9 seed.
If they are,
And also health wise, I don't trust the health of that team going forward.
To be honest, and this is what I'm thinking. One of the reasons why I feel like I said the Magic too high is I could see the Magic going over the Heat. To be honest,
No.
like
Regular season, I could not the Magic, not the Magic.
The
I mean,
Magic,
maybe
come
not the
on,
Magic.
their best player is Paolo Banchero.
Yeah, not the
relax.
Magic, the Magic, but I could easily see the Heat being a play-in team.
we'll see.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I think the Heat could be a play-in team. Pretty
No, they're a
easily.
playoff team.
They might make the playoffs, but through the play-in.
Yeah, they'd be if they're in the play and they're
Because last year, like Jimmy Butler's play last year in the regular season was troubling, and I know the playoffs he was awesome. But there's a big sample size in the regular season of him really struggling.
It's a big sample size of him in the playoffs being elite also.
It's a much smaller sample size though compared to his regular season play.
No.
No.
Dude, I really like they're. I don't know, man. I think they have a lot of good pieces. Again, yeah, Kyler's obviously over the hill. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But he's still a really good point guard. He's still smart.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he still really? Is he? How many games is he gonna play though?
What do they need from
but
him
is he gonna play?
playmaking?
Is he gonna play though?
Last year he said it like his personal.
I know.
Stuff.
But there were also some other. I don't know.
I think Tyler Hero's a really good offensive player.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler can do a lot of things offensively, and like he shows up when you need him to show up, always.
I just can't rely on
Bam,
that.
and I think Bam's gonna have a bigger role this year. I think he has to.
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Max Strus, Duncan Robinson. These guys are good 3-point shooters to go around Jimmy Butler.
I don't like Jimmy's hair.
I agree,
I don't like
Come
it.
on, dude.
I don't like it.
No. We're doing what you want us to.
Yeah, he
Can't
said
talk
he was
about
doing
it.
to get people riled up.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he said in his interview. He just got the hair to get people riled
I know,
up.
but it's just like why? Like that's like me fucking.
It's extensions too. Like it's
Well,
not real.
bro, I don't know. That's just like me shaving like an L
did.
into my forehead and like just being like, yo, this is gonna make people so mad.
I
It's
think
like, bro, you look terrible.
The worst part today was that he shaved his face.
Oh yeah, but yo, it's just.
Does he normally have a
the way the
beard,
braids
or?
are done, like it just makes so much of his head look so bald,
I
and
liked
the
when
braids are
he
so
had
tight.
it. I
Like,
liked when he had it up.
Yep, like a bun.
Yeah,
in like a dread bun.
Like a bun.
well,
Sort
the
of?
thing is too is like if you, like what he's done with his hair, like that's actually terrible for your hair because it pulls it so tight.
It's not his real hair.
No. Like where the
stuff that is
braids
real.
are, yeah,
Oh.
that's real. Like
He's
they,
had
they
that-
weave it into extensions, but
I think Jimmy Butler doesn't really care though. He's that
No,
kind of
but
guy. He doesn't care.
It frustrates. No, I know. It just frustrates me. It's like one of the reasons, like if you look at a guy like Snoop Dogg.
It's working, Luke. Stop. It's working.
What?
What are you doing?
Yeah,
what he
you're
wants?
doing
No,
exactly what
You're
I'm
falling into the trap.
I'm saying that this is bad for your health. This is bad for your hair health. Look at Snoop Dogg, man. His hairline is like at the back of his head.
Snoop Dogg's
He
also
smokes
like
so
in
much
his
weed.
like isn't Snoop Dogg in like his mid to late 50s?
No,
like,
but one of
He
the
smokes-
no,
male
he
pattern.
smokes so much weed. I think that's his problem.
This doesn't commit to hair loss. It's just because his dreads are so tight that it can actually pull.
I don't know.
your
I think
hairline
Jimmy,
back.
if you're happy with your hair, man.
I mean, I don't care.
Also,
if
yeah,
he's happy with it. I'm just saying,
He's
for
a-
your
if-
own hair health,
if
that's
Snoop's-
not good for your health, man. It's
Snoop's-
gonna fuck with your scalp.
If Snoop's losing hair in his 50s, I think he's winning.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah,
to lose your
yeah.
hair.
Some guys lose it a lot earlier. Okay. My underrated team. One of them was I think the Pistons are gonna be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I like Bogdanovich.
Okay, well, I want your guys' playoff underrated teams. You know who's?
Oh well, I have one.
Okay.
I think
The
the
Magic.
I think the Pistons could easily like have an actual shot at making the play-in.
The Pistons?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
okay.
really like the Bogdanovich trade.
No, I agree with that.
I think
Yeah.
he brings their
But
problem.
they'd be like a 10 seed. But
Yeah. They were one of the worst three-point shooting teams of all time last year, and Bogdanovich helps that a lot. And I think that's really good for their players' development.
And Sadiq Bey, who's better than Devin Vassell.
The LA Clippers are my other underrated team, like my more realistic
I wouldn't
one.
even call them underrated. I think they're.
Think they're
I
properly
think people
rated?
know they're good.
Yeah, maybe.
But sure, yeah, sure.
Because I think this will factor in later on, maybe.
Do you guys like Washington?
No.
I think
I made that mistake last year, man. I can't go back.
Yeah, I can't start. I think they're interesting.
LA though, I think they're all healthy. I think hopefully Kawhi's.
This could bite
Looks
me
good.
so hard in the ass. I think the Lakers are a little underrated.
Bro.
I gotta pass on that, bro.
If there's That's
I don't think they're contenders by any means anymore. I think they're gonna be better than last year.
Well, it's a very low bar.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna be better than last year. The Lakers. Lakers are 4.
Well, so they'll be the 10th seed, not the 11th seed.
They'll be in the play-in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you.
My take. It's a hot take still. Lakers are
Lakers are a
make the
top 10
play-in.
team in the West.
Yes.
I agree.
that's my.
AD has a chip on his shoulder too. I just want to say that.
I guess I don't know.
I'm not saying he's gonna take
Eat
the
the
chip.
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you
No, I
keep
don't
going
know.
with that? I don't know how that works. He's gonna eat the chip.
Eat the chip. He was gonna munch.
I'm not saying he's gonna eat the chip, but the chip is on his shoulder.
You guys think
Balancing
maybe
on there.
like to get it to like an hour 35, we'll do like maybe 4 minutes.
Well, we got.
5
Let's do
minutes, like-
overrated teams. The
Quick,
finals picks. and that's it.
quick underrated team. Do you guys have one?
I said mine.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Miami.
mean overrated.
Overrated.
Lakers.
Boston.
Austin, nice. Mine was Miami. Mine was Miami.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh right.
I want to explain mine a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Everybody's got
slander Boston, please.
Everybody's got. I'm not gonna slander Boston. I think they're still top 4 in
Slander
the
the
East,
city.
but I think that's what they are. They're not. Everybody's like, yeah, Boston's pretty easily my finals pick. I heard many like NBA analysts say that.
Yeah.
No, man.
No, like I think last year, I'm not gonna say it was a fluke, but like a lot went their way last year.
A lot of things went right.
and
yeah.
a lot of things have to continue to go right. Like, I don't think they're more talented than there's more. Like, I think there's a lot of teams are more talented. Than them.
Yeah.
Philly,
The Nets.
the Nets, Milwaukee. That's where I think like that's. I think they're right below those 3 teams in terms of talent, but they're below them.
Yeah.
They have really good. I think they could be number 1 seed in the East.
Oh,
100%.
totally.
But then when you go in the second round, you're playing against Brooklyn, Milwaukee,
Right.
or Philly.
Yeah.
That's when you're getting screwed.
Yeah. I understand where you're going there, and I
I just think they're really good.
Luke,
they're
yeah,
good.
and I heard Lakers are always. I think like when
I think,
when
yeah,
like
okay,
the basketball, like the actual people who know basketball community, I think we all agree that Lakers aren't good.
Lakers suck.
It's the broader
That-
ESPN, right? That
Yeah,
the Lakers
yeah.
are right. It's all the Lakers. But we all know Lakers don't. They're not good.
To clarify my thing with the Lakers is that like it's I want to clarify they suck. Okay, I think they suck, given what they have on their team. But I think they're a play-in team. That's my take. I think they're a 10th seed.
Blistering hot take.
What do you think? I think they're better
Commit,
than the
Luke,
Spurs.
commit,
Okay,
commit.
let
They're
me
not
think.
playing team. Commit
I
to
think
it.
they're better than the Spurs, the Rockets.
I don't know.
They're better than the Spurs, the Rockets, the Jazz, and OKC. So they're going to be in that Sacramento.
Yeah.
So then they're
Are they better than Sacramento? That's the question.
Are they
that's
better?
that's
Are they better?
that's where I like Sacramento way more than
If
Lakers.
Chet was
but-
playing, are they better than OKC?
okay, no, Chet would not have been that good this year.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Like, I still like have really high hopes for OKC. I think that's another.
Yeah, me too. I think, but
underrated
I
team
think
for me is
I think even if
OKC.
Chet played, Jalen Williams would be a better rookie than Chet.
Wow, I disagree.
Oh man, you got to watch more Jalen Williams. I'm telling you, that guy's a stud. I'm not kidding at all. This
he's
guy's
your Devin
legit.
Vassell.
No, dude, he's good. I'm telling
Devin
you, like,
Vassell's
he's gonna
good,
be. Shut up. Jalen Williams gonna be better than Devin Vassell first game of the year. He's gonna be that good.
All right, guys, let's.
Finals picks.
We have one more.
Yeah, I've
quick
got
one.
like 2 minutes
Okay.
left here.
Finals prediction. Go.
Oh, geez. No. Don't let me go first.
Okay, Elias, go.
Clippers versus Bucks.
That's my exact one.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right.
Who's winning?
Clippers in 4.
I think 4.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
What do you got?
Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 7.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I think they have too much defense. Period. They have too much defense and they have too much power.
Better coach.
And their depth is insane. And better coach, yes,
And
definitely.
the sixth man,
Budenholzer's overrated.
and the sixth man of the year, bro.
This might be a very,
Bucks have
very
Beauchamp, though.
steamingly boiling hot take.
Magic
And
in the
and
finals.
It depends. No, it depends on a lot. It really depends on a lot.
Oh no. Okay, here we go.
But I could honestly see it. This would be cool. This would be cool to see Sixers Nuggets.
Oh,
sure.
okay.
No,
I like and like.
And
Well,
beat
it's
against
just only
Jokic?
because Jamal Murray hasn't played in 2 years, and like
I love
it's
the
just,
Nuggets.
I like the Nuggets coming out of the West, to be honest, and they're my favorites if everything goes right for them. But I don't know. And then I'd like to see the Sixers, or to be honest, the Nets. Like, I hate the Nets. I can't stand Kevin Durant, but I do think that if they want to get it done, like playoff Kyrie, this guy is an animal,
Like,
dude.
I'm low key rooting for the Nets.
I'm a Kevin Durant fan, so I
Me
always
too. When he's not on the Warriors, I like Kevin Durant. And as a I'm not gonna say I'm a Kyrie fan. I just think he's really good at basketball. But I'm really rooting for Ben Simmons, dude. I'm really rooting for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Ben Simmons too.
It would be
I
great to
think-
see a big comeback.
I
year
just
from
don't
him.
like. I just don't personally. I don't like Kyrie and I don't like KD. But I just have to respect that they're just that good basketball
Yeah.
players and they are so dominant.
I think that does it. I think for
Okay, yeah,
our
that's
questions,
everything.
man. Hour and a half.
All right,
The title should be Orlando Magic 5th seed.
dude.
That was the crazy thing
I know
to
that.
say.
Sorry.
Paul Bencaro, MVP.
I wanna backtrack on that. Is so not what I meant to say. I was a big brain fart right there. That's like that's tough. But it just goes to show my faith in underrated teams. No,
This guy just loves Paolo.
no. Please don't take that as my opinion of what I think I know about basketball. That was way out of there. But
It's all right.
that was way out of
Happens.
left field.
Hey man, I thought the Knicks were gonna be good last year. You know, it happens to all of us.
It is what it is. But you know what? I don't care. So this is my podcast that we do here. So I'm the one sitting here. Anyways.
You sit here and try this.
no, I'm just
It's
kidding.
hard.
I'm just kidding. But anyways, we are so excited to come out with you guys with content again this year. We're starting earlier than last year, and we're pumped to be starting this early. And we have a lot of exciting news for everybody like over the next coming weeks. And I think we all are really excited to show you guys what we have in store for the season.
A lot of new things
And
happening.
a lot of new things, a lot of new developments. And I think we're just really all pumped to be, talking about the NBA again. So with that said, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and leave us that review.
And review Luke's take on the line.
Yeah, holy fuck.
specifically that.
I'm never going to live this down. Jesus Christ. Anyways,
right.
we're your hosts. I'm Luke. I don't know. We're your hosts, Luke Dick.
Elias Eldridge.
And Sam Canny.
And we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.